Get ready. Ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Hello and welcome to Inflate Your Ego. My name is Leo Costello. This is a really exciting episode for me. I'm really glad I got a chance to talk to these guys. This is the Wisconsin Ghostbusters, alright? The Time Community Theater is a small theater in Oshkosh. They often screen cult classics and movies people love to go see. And recently they screened Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And I knew that the Wisconsin Ghostbusters were going to be there, so I wanted to see if I could track them down and have a little talk with them. I just really wanted to talk to them about how they made these costumes and just share their love for the movie Ghostbusters. And it was a really fun conversation. This is one of my favorite podcasts yet. I think you're going to enjoy it. We recorded this in House of Heroes, which is a comic book store in Oshkosh. It was a pretty cool environment to record this in. So I hope you enjoy my conversation with the Wisconsin Ghostbusters. Okay, like I was saying before, there's really no rules to this podcast or anything. There's nothing you can't say or anything like that. We don't even have to talk about Ghostbusters. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We always have something to talk about. So.
I'm kind of worried how this is going to go.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
I usually like to record an hour.
Okay.
Because usually after the half hour point, that's when you stop sort of shielding yourself conversationally. You know, that's when the fun story starts to happen. So tell me a little bit about the Wisconsin Ghostbusters. When did it start? Who started it, and what is it?
Yeah.
Well, it started back in 2010.
2010, in October of 2010.
And you had a beard back then.
Yeah.
I missed that beard.
It's not coming back, unfortunately.
It was a good time.
Hashtag bring back the beard.
Right.
Basically, this guy, we met on the GB Fans forums. And he's like,
wait, what's that?
It's gbfans.com.
Yep.
And they just have a section where fans can come together, talk to each other. They divided up by regions, so we just had a
and franchises
Wisconsin,
too.
franchises,
Yeah, the casual encounters page.
Yep. Yeah, gotta be careful with that stuff though. So they break it up by state, region, franchise sort of thing. So we met on the Wisconsin part of it, and we just got an idea about the idea going. Hey, let's make a franchise out of this. We've had some good conversations. Andy had a great logo made up.
I didn't even notice that. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a milk carton?
It is a milk carton.
Yes. Just like
people say it looks like spray paints, and I say it's a 40. They always say, "Oh, it's from Wisconsin. Is it a 40
Well,
or
40
is it?"
more represents Wisconsin.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like a spray paint can.
If you had the index finger above it, then I would buy it.
Yeah, but people looking at it quickly like, "Oh, is that a spray paint?" No, it's just milk.
It's a milk carton.
That is a pretty cool logo, though. It's like
Originally,
the regular Ghostbuster with some extra muscle
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, we had a lot of ideas, a lot of them centered around the dairy stuff because it's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cheese stuff.
Isn't there
doesn't look
something?
good.
Isn't there something with a milk carton in the movie? I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
The closest I could think of is there's Dana's apartment when she just puts groceries down and things
okay.
are kind of bubbling up and going crazy.
And the refrigerator does have a significance in the movie,
It
so
does, yeah.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most other franchises though, they just choose like their state and make the ghost logo be the red, be the state, and then the ghost is in it.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'd have it.
like
That's
the,
weird.
The shape of the state becomes the no ghost logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very overdone.
Yeah.
Very.
That'd be difficult with the Wisconsin shape.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen
probably.
it done though, but I just
Yeah.
didn't think it looked good.
There's a Florida group where they actually made the head of the ghost. It's actually the regular symbol, except the head of the ghost is like an alligator.
Okay.
And it was a Florida gator sort of thing. It was kind of cool.
And each
But-
state has their own franchise too, so they lots of different ideas that pop out of them.
Except for Wyoming, because there's like 4 people there.
Yeah.
So
That's Wyoming.
So, how did you guys get these costumes and the gear together? First, actually, I haven't done this yet. Why don't we introduce yourselves real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go from here
Okay.
to the other side.
My name's Mark. I've been with the group for about 3 years.
Okay.
3 years, I think. Yeah.
Something like that.
And I was looking at your website. I saw that you gave each person kind of like an occupation or a
Love
position.
this to love. I don't know if it has
still-
it-
That
yeah,
website
yeah,
still
yeah,
going?
website,
Yeah.
yeah.
I could tell it hasn't been
Temporarily.
updated in
Yeah,
a
we
while.
don't. We just use Facebook
Is
now.
on
yeah.
GeoCities still?
Angel file, is that what it is?
And you?
I'm Joe. I've been with the group since the beginning. I missed our first event because I had to work on the weekends, hence this college, working in a restaurant. But no, so I've been with us since 2010.
Okay.
I'm Derek. I've been in the group since 2012, but I've been ghostbusting since 2004. So I did it solo for years, and then
When you say ghost busting since
well,
2004,
I made a pack in 2004.
Okay.
I went solo, just out and about Halloween time and whatever events. I'm also a ghost hunter, so we would do parades and I would dress up as a ghostbuster in our ghost hunting group.
so you got some of you guys have fascinations with the paranormal.
Yes.
So it's not it's more than just the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I went on GB Fans and I saw franchises. Like, oh, there's a Wisconsin group. So I contacted Andy, and boom, we met up at SiphonCon in Chicago and just went from there. Had a great time.
Totally
Okay.
different story for me, though.
Yeah.
Him and my best friend were going after the same woman. And then,
Well, I dated the woman that
met-
he was after
yeah.
after breaking up. Yeah.
and I met him at a bar, and then I saw a picture of him on Facebook in a suit, and I went, "Oh, I want to be a part of that." But no, I've been a fan too since probably shortly after I was born.
Oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
All of us have been a fan of the movies for
Yeah.
Exactly.
a really long time.
Yeah.
And your name?
Andy, and I'm the founder of the group.
Okay.
And the way that started was, well, I got my suit and pack together, and it was around 2007. And I saw that these other franchises were starting up from state to state. And I was like, well, it'd be really cool to have one here. And at that time, the news was really big with GB3 again.
Again,
And
Dan-
Again.
Dan
Every 5 years.
Aykroyd
Yep.
was posting stuff all the time about if the new movie starts.
Well, the
we'll
video game
have
was
these-
coming out too at that
Right,
time.
the fran-
Video-
yeah, the
2009.
video game was
Yeah.
out, and I mean there was a big buzz about it because the video game was there. Dan Aykroyd was on tour with his Crystal Head vodka. And stuff
Oh, I
like
was going to
that.
mention
So,
something about that.
yeah, and so I mean there was a big buzz around it. So I was like, I was talking to some people from other groups, and they were like, well, Dan Aykroyd's been asking us for business cards, and don't know what for, but he's been asking for them. So I was like, well, okay, let's get a group together and we can be a part of this, whatever's going on.
Okay.
And so, met Joe online, met one of our founding members, Jason and V. And me, Jason, and V, we got together on Halloween for outdoor screening in Milwaukee of the first movie.
Okay.
And that was the first time any of us had ever been together as a Ghostbusters group.
That must have
So,
felt pretty cool.
It was really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thrill.
So how did you guys put these costumes together? I mean, how did you kind of make them from scratch from stuff you find at thrift shops, or did you go on any forums to find specific parts?
For the bigger equipment, we use the forums and everything. But like this
There's
stuff,
blueprints, yeah.
you use at the same time look at the forums for if you want how screen accurate you want it to be. If you notice that like even between the 3 khaki suits, they're varying shades.
Yeah.
Because they're made from different companies. But
Yeah.
so you find a fight suit that's roughly khaki. The patches you can usually find. There's a really great dealer on eBay. She makes like accurate size patches, and you can get
Guitar.
yes.
She made these. Yeah. Well, I got mine from a different place, but this one came from
Yeah,
Guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and then some of the other gear like these. These are judo or volleyball knee pads that they use in the movie. Then pistol belts are pretty easy to find.
Well,
Most
if
people.
you're bigger, you need about 2 of them.
Now, being costume aficionados, I'm sure you guys are aware of the Star Wars 501st.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 We met them before.
Yeah,
We've
friends
hung out
with
with them.
several
Yeah.
of them.
Okay, yeah, I'm not 100% familiar with it, but for the listeners who don't know really what that is, it's basically kind of what you guys do. It's a bunch of people that get together and make stormtrooper costumes
Yep.
and other stuff like that, and you have to meet very specific high standards for your costume in order to be considered part of that group.
Yep.
So I was wondering if the Ghostbusters costume community is anything like that. Because one thing I really like about these costumes is that since they're not like uniforms, like a stormtrooper uniform, you can personalize all of them, and they don't have to be exactly like the movie.
And-
Yes, there are some groups that are very strict with that.
Right, I
And
imagine.
we
But
are
you guys
very
have your
casual
last names
with
on
ours,
your
yeah.
shirts and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah.
Well, even the groups that are really strict, they want your own name on it, but they want you need to have this brand of fight suit. You need to dye
Yeah.
it after that. Your pack needs to be accurate down to the measurement to be with us. And then other groups are just like, well, you like the movie, so do we. So let's have a beer or two.
Yeah, I think there's
Go from
like
there.
two different philosophies. Either you're joining it to make yourself look like the cast from the movie,
Yeah.
or you're joining it because you're just another member of the Ghost. You're just a new teammate.
Yep.
I think our prerequisite is just to have a jumpsuit, soft goods to have, to be part of it. Then you can come out. We have a guy that lives down in Tim
Yeah.
He just has a jumpsuit and a belt. He doesn't have any
floats
equipment.
around.
Does he still live in
floats around.
Sandwich?
No.
Oh.
Do you have the
think so anymore.
I forgot what it's called, their meter they use to
Oh, the
find
PKE
the
meter,
thing?
yep.
Yeah,
There
got
we
the
go.
PKE meter, yes.
Is that just a toy prop you found?
Yeah,
or?
this is a lot of them. Maddie Collector did the PKE meters.
Okay.
Mattel.
And they
That sounds really cool. That's
Or
really neat.
really annoying, depending on how long you listen to
Yeah,
it.
how long?
true.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that the actual prop has been used in many different like sci-fi movies.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it has.
I think it's in a Star
It's
Trek
an
movie somewhere.
Iona shoe polisher is what the shape is of it, and then they made it into the device. So
Yeah, it was in a Star Trek movie. I think it was in The Thing with
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
It was just hanging out in a room randomly. They never actually used it. It was just sitting there.
My mother had
But,
one
yeah.
when I was a kid.
It's always funny when you hear how they make these high tech props in movies. Like I always hear about the communicator Qui-Gon Jinn has in
Oh,
episode
yeah,
one.
it's a shaver.
It's like a female
yeah, like,
razor
yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
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 Well, it's aesthetic, visually aesthetic. If you look at it, oh, that's really cool. You can make that into something. It has to have like a look and a feel.
Right.
to
But
it, yeah.
Liam Neeson could be talking into a discarded banana, and it would
And
still
it-
look cool.
Because it's Liam Neeson, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
But no, I understand.
Have a certain set of skills.
Yeah.
I know that in the same movie, there's when Anakin's showing R2D2, you can see one of those like plastic. I don't know what they're called.
Oh yeah,
like,
the little wiffle. Yeah, like a
Wiffle
little,
ball
Well, I
thing?
know. Yeah, it's like a ball you can. catch
It's
it
just
and stuff,
hanging
yeah.
up there
Yep.
for no reason.
Yep. It was I think it's spray painted silver
So
too.
it's
Yeah.
probably the motivator that's in droids, so they can actually want to do things.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this one's
Because they
got a
got
bad
so
motivator.
creative with the terms of the technology. Oh, the motivator's not working, so it doesn't want to do anything. Lazy droid.
I want to see a Star Wars prequel where Luke just goes and gets some power converters. That's the whole
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah.
Just goes like the Walmart.
Those are the good ones. On his way out, he just parks the land speeder off the highway and just finds a little
Womp rat and
womp-
pops it.
and then someone pulls him over. Starter's dude on the highway, man. You gotta be away like 100 feet.
The thing is, though, like most serial killers start off killing animals. Luke Skywalker's just shooting them in his spare time from his little T-16. So, yeah, great hero there.
Oh well, you guys are in town because the Time Community Theater is screening both Ghostbusters
Yes. Yeah,
movies
Double
tonight.
feature tonight.
Yep. And so besides going to various screenings around the state, what other things do you guys do together? I even though that website's really old, I saw you guys do stuff for charities and nonprofits.
That was
We
I think it was
used
on for a
to,
while,
yeah.
Not so much
It was-
anymore.
Yeah, for legal reasons.
Oh, okay.
basically.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's Sony's property.
We do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do it a lot more for the fun of it now. And it keeps it lighthearted, and
So what other kind of
Enjoyable,
events
so-
do you guys go to other than screenings?
we do conventions yet.
Okay.
Parades, but not so much. Once the Ecto's back up and running, we'll probably do more of those.
The what?
Library events.
The Ecto,
the
the-
Ecto.
Ecto One,
The
like a
car.
car.
The
We have
Ghostbuster
a
car.
we have a car.
Yeah. So you guys don't have that currently?
Well,
Well-
it's fairly screen accurate in the fact that it breaks down
Yes.
fairly much. Because then you see in the movie, there's a scene where it's actually driving on the bridge, and shortly after they stopped filming that, the car stopped working, and they
Okay.
had to haul it off the bridge.
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah,
the
that
last
car
time they
looked
drove
like
the
a
car.
major junker.
Yeah.
And I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I saw the pictures on the website. I mean, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It is a nice car. Yeah.
So
been a heck of
it's
a
it's
project.
just kind of down and out. How long did that take to put together?
It's been 3 years so far.
Wow.
And
It's
still
it's
not
work in
done.
progress. Work in
Yeah,
progress.
it's always a work in
Okay.
progress.
It's up to the point now where you can drive around, looks like it, but it's, as long as it doesn't break down. But it looks like Ecto One. You can drive and like, oh, it's Ecto One. Get lots of people stopping on the highway, driving by really slow, doing like circles around the car, taking pictures.
Yeah.
So it's
The first time we all rode in it too, we were all giddy, giggling like.
I
scared
bet.
we're all in the front seat.
Did you guys put like a speaker in there
It has a speaker in there. It's not functioning.
yet?
the thing.
Right.
It has,
Eventually, there's so much work
it has
to do.
3 batteries in the car, like 3 car batteries. Isn't it 3?
There's 2 right now.
Or
There
2.
will be a third. one.
There's 3.
What model of car is that?
It's a '65 Cadillac.
Okay.
Meteor combination hearse ambulance. So
Was that the most difficult build you guys have had so far?
Well, he's been.
It's his
Yeah,
weird.
it's my vehicle.
It's your baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and by far, it's the most challenging thing. Yeah.
We pretty much go to 2 or 3 events, and then it breaks down for 2 or 3 events, and we go back to 2 events, and then it breaks down for 2 or 3
It's
events.
always something, and it's
Yeah.
just it's usually fairly simple, but occasionally you break apart, and it's impossible to find it.
I'm curious for each of you, what was the hardest part of your costume to find? Because I definitely know what it's like. I'm really into making costumes. Every Halloween, I try to. I've made a Joker costume, one from Johnny Depp from Fear and Loathing. You saw my Ferris Bueller one.
Yep.
So there's always that one item that is like really hard to find, and then when you find it, you're just
Mine was the
yes.
V hook. There's this little hook that hooks the thrower, or the particle thrower, onto the pack,
usually pretty-
and you have to find like one that's made of metal, really good. Not like they make ones that are Dixie brackets, which is like you hook your Dixie cup holder onto the wall. It's like it's a V shape, but it's really long, and that thing never comes
So this
off.
it's like a holster for the gun.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
flat little clip shaped like a V, so it hooks and stops. So you hook it on, and it stays there, it won't move, and you can pull it off, put it back on.
Okay.
But finding someone who makes those is difficult. And if you buy one, it usually takes like a couple months for them to make it because they form it and make it out of metal. So finding someone who is reliable, you can actually get it from. That was my hardest one.
The hardest thing for me to find was my wallet to get my credit card to purchase because I went and purchased everything piecemeal except for my outfit, my suit. Mostly because I'm a large person, and there are a lot of large Ghostbusters out there. So I mean, finding the right suit is near impossible for a large person because these ride up quite a bit.
They do.
You can't see it, but they do.
For me, it was my boots. I wanted to actually have the movie boots, and they use old military Corcorans. And
Side
so
zipper,
it was,
paratrooper boots. Yeah.
and the side zippers are things they put on for the movie, so because they never put those on the Corcorans. And it took a good 2 years of looking on eBay to finally find Corcorans that are my size, because apparently the only ones that are still out there are for people with feet the size of an 8-year-old child. And I finally found like Steve Meyer in our group.
Yeah.
He has the feet of an 8-year-old
does.
child,
He does.
so he could find Corcorans like anything. But it took me 2 years, and finally to find a nice old man in Texas who had Corcorans that actually fit. And then I had to order the zippers and have them put on.
They're on Amazon now.
Nice.
Though.
What
Yeah,
is
but
what is
not
this
the
piece
right
of gear
ones.
you have here? The goggles? or-
These are these actually our buddy Steve Meyer in the group made these, and they're basically night vision goggle frames made with a few. These are PVC that we
Okay.
just kind of cut to the right size, and this fantastic board right here that's supposed to be either a plastic or metal plate. We couldn't find one that was a good size and easy enough material to cut, so we actually took one of his many leather-bound books that he had, and we just cut the cover off. And it wasn't leather-bound; it was just a book. We just cut the cover off of it, and it fits in there pretty well. And we just kind of put everything to it. Yep.
Yeah, because the original goggles actually had camera parts on it. Like they took
Yep.
camera pieces and
Okay.
fashion.
And
yeah.
these are pretty similar, except for these battery portions right here are not the original one. So this isn't even accurate to what it should be, but it's
They look
closer
like
than.
that.
It's funny
a
how
lot there.
when you start building a costume, you're like, oh, I can't wait till this is done, and then once it's done, you're like, yeah, it's not quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little obsessive over it. What about you? What was the hardest thing to find for yours?
Well, mine was the V hook, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
I got my whole suit, my belt, and everything from a place in Las Vegas.
Okay.
The guy, he does costumes, does Star Trek costumes, different uniforms and things, and he does
Star
Ghostbusters.
Trek costumes.
So I bought mine, the whole thing from him. Then I had to modify some things. I made some of my own things, added some things, but he gives you the basic belt, hose, jumpsuit, patch. You can get your specialized name patch and stuff. So.
And so my other suit, I have a khaki one too, and it came from the same guy, who ironically has been blacklisted from the GP fans community because it takes so long to get stuff to you.
Yeah.
And
Huh,
for
okay.
example, I bought my suit, and it took 5 months
Wow.
Yeah.
just to get to me. And,
Thanks.
But I warned him that that's what was going on, so he ordered it ahead of time to make sure it was going to be in time. And you got it in time
I
for
did.
the first event we went to.
5
so.
minutes before I had to be there.
Yeah.
The hardest part for me back when I was building mine was the light and sound kit for my proton pack. Because at
Light
the
and
time,
sound kit, okay.
there was no kits available.
Mhm.
Everybody was building their own.
Yeah.
And
So the kits you guys made were from the forums, and you buy specific parts,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Guys make,
there's
like,
instructions and
yeah.
stuff.
They make
It's a
plug and play
business.
ones now. Plug and play where you just
Yeah.
put
And
some
that's
cords
so
in.
nice.
That's one that I have. They're really awesome.
Yeah.
Which I bought for my sound in my pack. I have one from the GB Fans website where we met, and it is so easy. They actually have things on the soundboard that says, "Oh, the lights to the gun go here, the sound of the gun goes here, pack
nice.
lights here, pack sound here, and battery goes here," and just it makes it so easy.
But I assume none of you have parts of the costume that's like designed to be part of a Ghostbusters costume. You know what I mean? Like something you would find going into a costume shop and be like, "It's the
no.
Ghostbusters," blah blah blah.
No,
Yeah.
the closest we'd have that are the Maddie trap and the Maddie PKE meters.
What's that?
Yeah.
Maybe
the PKE meters, yeah.
We
Yeah.
didn't bring a trap because there's a lot of gear to carry and it's gonna be too hot, and we're not gonna have any really need for the trap.
Yeah,
We
you
didn't
guys
bring
picked a bad day to come here. It's
didn't-
really hot out
we
there.
didn't-
We were here last year and it rained on us.
It rained,
Yeah.
yeah. Thunderstorm came
Rain,
through.
you know.
We'll get
Okay.
very ominous dark clouds rolling, and like, oh boy, we're gonna have to put some overtime in this one. Because
So obviously you guys must be big fans of the movie Ghostbusters.
Believe it or not, before last year, none of us had seen it.
You just thought they were really neat costumes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is really cool, and someone's like, hey, we should try to actually watch the movie.
Yeah. No,
Why?
it was funny. Some of us hadn't seen it in theaters yet because,
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in '86, so 2 years
Okay.
before the first one came out. I think you were the only one that saw it
After.
in theaters.
I saw Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater, but I didn't. I was only 4 when the first one came out.
Yeah.
So do you remember the experience of being there or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I remember that. I remember the thrill of having Hardee's. They had like a kids meal, and like
Hardee's.
Sundays they had like slime on it and stuff. It was awesome. Like,
Oh, man.
And there was like that giddy because I was watching a real Ghostbusters cartoon. I watched it religiously on Saturday mornings and after school. I was like, oh, they're finally doing Ghostbusters. Everything was Ghostbusters. TV, every commercial was Ghostbusters.
Oh,
The real.
are you talking about the real Ghostbusters,
real
which
Ghostbusters.
ironically were the animated versions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was a really good show.
And
The first
That was a
cartoon-
good show. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason why they had to say the real Ghostbusters is because there was already another
Filmation's
Ghostbusters
With a monkey. They had a
and
monkey
yeah, it
and
was
two bumbling-
two guys, and they're talking, not a talking gorilla, but the gorilla made all their stuff for them.
Really
Yeah.
had like a hat. And
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Mhm. And they already had Filmation's Ghostbusters, and so that cartoon was out there. They had a live action like
Yeah,
series.
it
or
was.
Yeah, it
movie.
was in the 70s. It was
In the
a
70s,
late
yeah.
70s.
And
yeah.
so the movie came out with the Ghostbusters ones that we all love and talk about, and then they moved on from that. So Filmation kept the cartoon going, and then they want to make a cartoon based off the Ghostbusters movie. And they're like, well, you can't call it Ghostbusters because we have our thin line out there, so they had to call it,
It was
the
even,
real Ghostbusters.
It was even the problem with the movie title too. I mean, the movie was originally called Ghost Smashers, and
yeah.
they changed it.
They
to
did
Ghostbusters.
multiple takes of saying Ghost Smashers, but then at the end of the movie, everyone was chanting Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters. They couldn't really get that out of the movie, so they thought we're gonna fight for this and have it called
Yeah, so
Ghostbusters.
there's legal dispute.
That kind of reminds. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's an episode where like they call themselves the originals and like we're the new originals.
It's because the group splits into two, so it becomes two groups of two guys.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When Dimitri Martin is on Woof Woof.
The keytar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab the mug.
The mug.
The mug.
What is that?
I just feel like I should have a mug in front of me for a podcast. So I'm just
Especially
gonna,
Betty-
I'm gonna
especially
put this right
Betty
here.
Page one.
what on earth is on
Betty
there?
Page.
Betty Page.
Page.
So I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
gonna have this Betty Page mug right here for when I need to. Oh, great question. It's right here, and everyone can think that there's something in the mug. So,
Yep.
Except
There
they're
it
not,
is.
they won't actually see it.
They can
No,
see it.
but
They
for
can
right
only-
now,
Yeah.
right now,
There
like,
is a mug here.
that Joe guy, he's got a mug in front of him. There's probably something in there.
Yeah.
It's a cup of Joe.
Gotta get quenched.
Yeah. Oh, that.
So, I know quite a few people who are really into Ghostbusters. I enjoyed the movie perfectly fine, but
Are you
I've
gonna,
never.
watch at the Times Theater tonight?
Oh, I can't. My
Oh.
parent, I have this big family get
Oh,
together
okay.
going on.
You have an excuse then. It's all right.
Yeah, I otherwise I probably would go, but I've probably seen the first one about half a dozen times, and I think I've only seen the second one like once or twice.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like them, but I've never really had this really big passion for it. So I'm curious, what about the movie for you guys is so compelling?
Who's going?
Because it is a very unique movie.
It
And
is.
before it, there was never really anything like it.
No, and it still holds
since-
true. 30 some years after, it's still holding up. People still
Right.
watch it and love
And
it.
there's still a lot of movies and properties you see that are, like people compare action movies. It's like, oh, Speed is Die Hard on a bus.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, like after that came Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just the idea of
Yeah.
an organized group taking down supernatural elements.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
there's that Ryan Reynolds movie, R.I.P.D.,
Oh, yeah,
which is
yeah,
based on
yeah.
a comic book, I believe.
What was the one with the slime?
Evolution.
Ghost-
Evolution was really good too. That was Ivan Reitman.
Yeah, that was almost like a direct rip-off.
It was. Ivan Reitman did that one. He's the one
Ghostbusters.
that.
Is he?
directed the- Yeah. Ivan
That was
Reitman-
a TV show, right?
No, it was a movie.
It was?
Yeah.
Aykroyd was in it too.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as like the passion for it, like I mean, for me, my first memories were of Ghostbusters because I lived in Alaska at the time, and back in the 80s, there was nothing even for animals in Alaska. So, like, my dad bought the VHS tape because he rented it so often, the store told him, we'll just sell it to you because it's always gone. Your family always has it. And so he walked the 20 miles to go buy it because it was the only thing in town. But yeah, I mean, so for me, that's where it started. I watched that movie so many times. The tape ended up eventually breaking, and luckily we have DVDs now. But that's where the passion came from. And then as I got older, my appreciation for it grew because I understood the comedy. And the comedy in it is so layered.
Yeah, I was about to say layered,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, it's not just a simple, oh, yuck, that's funny. You know, no, it's like...
There's a lot of gross out gags for kids, and then a lot of really raunchy stuff for adults.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is...
I was just looking it up on my phone because I couldn't remember if it was PG-13 or
Oh,
R.
it
It was PG.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the 80s
Yeah,
for you
yeah.
right there.
That's like a definitely R-rated movie now.
The MPAA was pretty loose in the 80s.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess we didn't want to protect children as much back then.
No.
We had metal
No,
playgrounds
we-
back then, metal playgrounds and dangerous things.
Don't let him get hurt.
No
That
helmets.
stuff breaks and
Lawn
Yeah.
darts.
heals. Oh my God.
Yep.
Lawn
Lawn
darts.
darts.
That's a clean wound. He's fine.
That's fine.
But either way, so that's kind of what happened with me. It was a lifelong thing that you really couldn't share with anybody because this is before like nerd culture just shot off, you know. And so for years I was just kind of holding this in as my own hobby that I couldn't share with anybody. And all of a sudden, you know, I find this group, you know, 28 years in the life or 25 years in life. So, you know, that's kind of where the passion started, and then it just kind of kept growing as I appreciated it more.
I assume you guys have obviously watched the movie together many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, once or twice.
Been to many showings.
I've seen it hundreds upon hundreds of times. I don't even know how many. I'm even close to 1,000 probably. I watch it just for the hell of it. Every once in
What
a
are
while.
some of you guys' favorite moments or lines that you like to quote or anything like that?
God.
My favorite has always been Bill Murray's perfect delivery of "It's true, this man has no
Yes.
dick."
Yes.
Which was improv.
His deliveries.
I always
That was
That
improv.
was improv.
Oh, great.
I always do. I'm very excited, very pleased, because he said it like,
Yeah.
I'm very excited, very pleased.
should
Why don't you
get
get
right
right down
down
there,
there.
check it out, and get back to me. Get right back to me.
His
No, no, no,
delivery in
no,
that movie is
Yeah.
so great.
And I love watching his eyes. He always just like blank, like looks like he just looks like he's like, what is going on here? I'm just gonna like, oh boy. Like,
What is that line he says? He's like, "We came, we saw,
oh,
we kicked some
its
ass."
We kicked
Yeah.
its ass, yeah. As they have the smoking trap coming out, that's just, I mean, everyone's like, oh, what is going on? Like, we got it, yeah.
I think to me what's really fascinating about the movie it rides the line between being self-aware and being a parody
Yeah.
and just playing it straight because
Yes,
it sort
yeah.
of does both at the same time,
Yep,
and that's
yep.
pretty hard to do, I think.
One of the things that the reason why it does that so well is it takes such an out there concept, something that's so grand, something so crazy. You actually have connection with the afterlife and this just completely nuts idea, and then
Yeah.
they make it seem like this is just what we do.
a job.
It's
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah.
They make it
Yeah,
so
like-
mundane
like-
and every day. That's like now it's not only just it's cool, it's supernatural, but you're relating to the same guy who goes and has to kill 70 cockroaches and then wakes up.
Or
Now,
in the
unplug
I
a
morning.
can't
toilet or something.
remember.
Yeah.
Is this? I can't remember if was the universe this movie set in where just everybody just believes it, they like ghosts exist and people just know it, or are they like, you guys are Ghostbusters? Ghosts?
No.
It's,
What?
I mean, when the movie's starting out, you definitely have that feel that there are people that believe this stuff is happening, and there's always people like, those people are crazy. We
Which
don't
is
have
kind
to.
of like
okay.
now, like just in typical society, people believe in ghosts, but some people say, oh, that doesn't exist until
Right.
they see one. Like,
Right.
okay, ghosts exist. I've met a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people
knew
like
it
that
was
over the years.
either. I know that the setup was either that or. For some reason, I thought the setup was that they accept ghosts the same way people just accept houses
And
sometimes
people are
start on
afraid of
fire.
it. People are afraid of the ghost. They'll see it, like, we don't know what that is. Let's call the professionals because we don't want to deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, but then there are the people in the movie that don't even believe it, even
Yeah.
though the
They've
ghost
seen
is
it.
there. And
Yeah.
they see
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that always
look at-
bothers me.
Well, you just
Yeah.
look at one of the reasons why people get so mad at the second movie is you have this. You had a 50-foot marshmallow man just
Yeah.
raise heck in New York
barreled
the first
through the city.
movie.
Yeah.
And then in the
Church.
second movie, you have that kid's like, my dad says you're full of shit.
It's
Yeah.
the same. It's
Yeah.
the
Like,
same.
full of shit. Did you not see the marshmallow man?
It's the
His
same thing
entrails
with
were everywhere when we were done.
I always thought that when I was a little kid watching Neverending Story and
Yeah.
Neverending Story 2, I'm like, does anybody not remember the giant dragon flying through the city?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
it's just the problem with sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, sequels are very difficult, especially comedy sequels,
Yeah.
because
Well.
you have to give more of the same thing. but without it being
Yeah.
repetitive.
That's kind of what happened with Ghostbusters 2. It was
follow them.
this, you could follow the same things happen the same time in the movie, but it's a different movie, but it's the same exact occurrences
Yeah,
of
it's
things.
formulaic.
And I feel like
Formulaic,
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like when you make a movie sequel, you have two options. You can either do something similar but better and risk it being repetitive, or do something completely different that nobody expects, but that's a really risky move and it doesn't
is,
really
yeah.
Or you
work.
can localize it like Iron Man 3, you know, where he's where he's on his own for half the movie. Or
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the Avengers 2, where it's character driven, you know.
Yeah.
But that didn't
Yeah.
exactly work either. I mean, it's hard to figure out what that perfect.
I've always described Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey as
Oh,
like
yeah.
the greatest comedy sequel of all time.
I like
not
Bogus
necessarily
Journey,
because
yeah.
it's like great, but just because of
It's
how different it is.
Yeah, very different. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I feel like if this table is not very sturdy.
No, well, it's plastic.
Yeah.
It's fine American plastic.
Usually you
It'll hold.
prop like a board or something underneath to keep it straight.
It'll hold. If it
Okay.
falls, they'll
That's
fix
okay.
it.
Mark's on that end.
What was I saying now?
You were-
Bill and Ted's Bogus
oh, yeah,
Journey,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it
'cause
was
I feel
different,
like-
but
yeah,
that's
'cause
what
I-
made it good. Is 'cause
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's great because it's
Yeah.
totally unexpected. Because I feel like if they made Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure now and is really popular, if they made a sequel,
Well, they are.
yeah, supposedly they're
sequels,
making. They're
yeah.
working on one right now, like a third one.
oh, okay.
But-
But I'm just saying, like theoretically, if they made that movie in today's time, the sequel would probably just be, oh, they're in college now,
Yes.
and they have to go back and do an even bigger project, and they have to go and visit some more people from the past, but they mess things up and things
Yep.
get crazy. But the people who wrote that movie were like, no, let's have them go to hell and go to heaven. There'll be aliens. They're gonna
Yeah.
play. They're gonna.
Yeah.
You know, it's totally
I
crazy.
I just love the creepy old grandma, like, "Let me kiss you." Like, it's
Oh,
like that's
man.
what that took like Ghostbuster time, like having like weird stuff and like just kind of having like, oh, this is really creepy but awesome. Like that's
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Were any of you guys, since you saw it when you were, younger at first, were any of you scared when you saw it? Because I know some people it's played off as a horror a little bit every now and then.
We
but-
kind of went away from the question anyways about us talking about what we thought of the first when we saw the movie, what got us into
I mean, we can do a Tarantino
Kinda-
and come back to that at the end
Yeah,
of the podcast.
I mean, this
Totally
kind of
fine.
blends into like what
Oh.
part scared you and what when.
Well, I mean, as a kid, the movie didn't scare me.
No.
The crazy thing is the cartoon scared me more than the movie.
Yeah.
There's some
I
creepy stuff in
remember the
cartoon.
Boogeyman
Okay.
episodes
Yep.
frightened me to all hell when I was
Yeah.
little. And the weird thing is that those were still my favorite episodes. I love those the
The
most.
Boogeyman
but
had
they
like
were
horse
scary.
hooves, and he comes out of your closet like big head with these big ears and pointy yellow beady eyes, and he's like he speaks with this really raspy, whistly voice, and he's like, and he had these big claws, and it was creepy, but it was awesome what they did.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I'm going to be embarrassed if I get this right. Is it Gozer?
Yep.
Yeah,
Gozer?
Gozerian, yeah.
Yeah, I was always afraid.
Demigod.
I could never figure out if that was a man or a woman, or if it was David Bowie.
It's whatever it wants to be.
Choosing berries. It doesn't make any sense. You don't understand.
Was it played by a woman?
Yeah,
Played by a woman.
It was
And-
a
Russian
Czech-
model.
or,
Yeah, Russian model.
yeah.
And her accent was so terrible they had to voice her over in the
Yeah,
movie.
and that was
Be-
originally
Oh, they
supposed to be-
ADR'd her or
Yeah.
something?
And she was originally supposed to be played by
Paul Rubens, yeah, Pee Wee Herman. Yeah,
That
yeah.
would have been a very different movie.
Yeah,
I mean, that maybe the cast was supposed to be Chevy Chase,
Yeah, John Candy,
John Candy,
Eddie Murphy,
Eddie
Yep.
Murphy, yeah.
and Al Gore.
who would have?
He was an up and comer.
He was, and
Not the man.
that's when the internet idea came through. He's like, I can be on Ghostbusters. I have to make some way to share this to everyone in the world. I'll get to it in 1997.
We
Okay.
just went political for a brief
It's
moment.
weird that it's so weird that like back in the 80s the most popular comedy actors were just like schlubby 40-something-year-olds.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know.
They were up in the mid 30s, mid to late 30s. Like I think they were all
Yeah,
around
they were
that.
all like.
Harold Ramis was up in his early 40s, I think, like in the time, but they were all
He's
like,
in his
Even when they were
I
in
don't think
even
so.
when all
I
of
think
them were
he
in their
was in his
prime,
late
they
30s.
still feel like they don't feel like they're the new hot comedians
No,
at all.
no,
no.
It's a very different.
Because even
thing.
like, well, you look at, I mean, Ramis, of course, Ghostbusters, pretty awesome. But when did Stripes come out?
that was 82
I think
or 81 or
82, 81. So
yeah.
it was 3 years
Yeah.
before Ghostbusters. He looks like he
Yeah.
aged a decade almost.
Yeah.
In Stripes, he looks like he's 18,
Yeah.
ready to actually join the
Wow.
army. And
Yeah.
then in Ghostbusters, he looks like, yeah, I've been out of college a few years. I've been doing the science thing, and go from there.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the new Ghostbusters movie coming out with an all-female cast?
They're making a new one.
I mean, I'm sure people have asked you this many times. I'm just curious what your thoughts are, being such big fans of the
I have
original.
no problem diving right in. I mean, the problem I think that
I should explain it just in case listeners don't know. There's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out. I don't know if they're considering a reboot or a sequel.
It's a reboot.
Okay.
Completely new
And-
reboot. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the problem kind of comes in.
And
is
it's
that,
with
yeah.
the big change is
Yep.
that it's an all-female
Kristen
cast.
Wiig, Melissa McCarthy,
Kate
Kate
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
And
Don't remember.
She's on Saturday Night Live with Kate McKinnon.
yes,
and
Yeah.
she is really funny. I can't remember her name right now though. But funny thing, when they first announced that they were going to make that movie with an all-female cast, I started brainstorming of who I think they would cast as the 4 people, and this rarely happens. I'm not lying. I got it exactly right.
Really?
Yes.
Really? All right.
Yeah. I was like, well, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy are a given.
Especially with Paul Feig, that's like his
Yeah.
go-to.
Yeah, because those two are
Yeah.
those are like the 2 biggest female comedians. And then I was like, well, they have to have a black woman. Leslie Jones, that's her name.
Yeah, Leslie
Leslie
Jones, yeah,
Jones
that's it, yeah.
she's starting to become really popular on Saturday Night Live. I bet she's going to be the black
Yeah.
one. And then who would be the 4th one? For a while I was thinking it would be Jane Lynch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
But I eventually went with Kate McKinnon because she's like an amazing cast member on SNL now. She's really
She
funny.
does everything.
Yeah. I remember watching the first episode. She was a featured player, and she totally upstaged Sofia Vergara. I mean, if
Oh,
you can do
really?
that on your first appearance, that's pretty big. So, what do you guys think about this whole?
Well, what I was going
movie?
to say was the only thing that's hard about it is to see a story that you've been following now for over 20 years, and then it just cuts right here. It's
Yep.
gone. It's
Yep.
done. And then
They're starting over,
and then
yeah.
and then starting over. So I mean,
They're going to be
Yeah.
referencing the original,
Oh,
though.
of course they have to.
obviously.
They use the
Yeah.
same
Still
logo.
use the same
Dan
Aykroyd's
Aykroyd's in
line.
it.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd's in
Is he?
it. Yeah.
he's
Is he
cab
the only
driver,
returning
though, I
cast
think.
member? Because I know Bill
Yeah.
Murray didn't want anything to do with
I
it.
don't
I mean,
know.
might be surprised. Who knows? Bill Murray
I
just kind
think
of turned
Ernie
to show
Hudson
up.
will have a role. We don't have it
It isn't
confirmed
announced
yet.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Murray only does things he wants to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
On his own time.
Yeah.
He does it when he wants to.
Yep.
Like-
pouring drinks with Wu-Tang Clan at a party. You know, that's
Stealing people's French fries off the street.
Yeah.
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 Then saying he'll never believe this. Yeah.
Yeah, no one will believe
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
But like that's like my biggest thing is that I've enjoyed the stories from the movies and then the video game, which ended up being
A third movie, yeah.
essentially because it wrapped up everything that happened.
I
in the
didn't
movies.
I didn't realize that was in
It was
continuation.
a beautiful. And all
Yeah,
the
it
actors
was.
came back and did the voices for him. Everyone, even
And-
Walter Peck was in it.
Sigourney Weaver.
Did they
is the one who
get
didn't come
did they
in.
get
Lon
Rick
Lewis-
Moranis?
No,
No,
he's
he's
not even in the game.
No.
His
No.
character's
But
not.
there's an Easter egg where if you go through the firehouse, his desk is right at the front and it says "out to lunch."
I thought went home sick. He wrote it on, put it on his
Yeah,
computer,
something
like
like
went
that.
home sick.
Yeah.
Lewis, and then
And his
so-
suit's there with the earmuffs he wore.
Yeah,
into-
hanging on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens in the storyline of the game if it's a continuation?
It takes place in
Like, what do they do with the
1991.
characters?
1991, so it's 2 years after Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
It kind of loops back to the Gozer storyline and how, except it's going into the bigger
Ivo Shandor.
Yeah, Ivo
Ivo
Shandor's
Ivo
architect.
Shandor's the guy that founded the cult that opened the pathway to the ghost world in the first movie.
Gozer
Gozer
worshippers.
worshippers,
Ghost
yeah.
worshippers, yeah. So basically, he created this pathway to open the door again, essentially to bring through
A mandala.
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
channels energy through and opens up these spots to open up a major event.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he uses the ghosts essentially to power this thing to open the door. That's why the ghosts are even there, is because they opened that door.
Yeah.
What's cool though, Ivo Shandor was an architect. He did all these changes on all these major buildings in New York City to be these channels of energy. Like he did the architecture to like summon certain energies to it. So that was what's cool about that. Like,
Yeah, and then the slime you see in Ghostbusters 2 that nobody could explain.
Why it's in the river and the
he's-
sewer,
yeah,
the big pink slime river.
Yeah.
He's the reason behind all that.
Yeah.
They've been pumping this slime out of the ghost world, and then
Yeah.
There's only a few things I remember from the second movie. It's the pink slime, the walking Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty, and the talking painting.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Dancing
you go.
Toaster's always a hit
Yep.
too.
Dancing Toaster.
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing the GB2 suit, the only one.
I've always enjoyed how in the Ghostbusters movies they the criteria of what it means to be a ghost always changes, or like there's no rules to it. You know, like there's no consistency with the laws. Like some ghosts are invisible.
Or
like Slimer, for instance, he's translucent, but and if he eats something, it falls through him. And then there's other ghosts that are like physical beings, and they can probably eat something. And then there's a giant marshmallow man.
Yep.
Well, the Marshmallow Man technically wasn't even a ghost. It's a demigod.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and the way the way they try and get around that is they have like a class system, and the higher you go up, the more your entity kind of changes. You become either more physical. You can move out from spots more than one place. So if you have something that's relatively weak, it's probably kind of chained to one spot. You don't really see it. It's barely able to move things around. And the higher you go up the scale, the more effect it can have on the natural world.
Okay.
Like the librarian from the first movie, in the game, they reveal that she was murdered in the library, and so she's anchored there because
She's a residual energy where she just
Yeah.
does the same motions every day, does the same things over like her life is
Interesting.
ended. Yeah. Which actually ties into the real ghost hunting. A stronger entity will be able to draw energy from the area and do things like touch you, push you. That's usually what happens when you feel a cold spot. It's sucking all the energy to manifest itself either with a push or a voice or something. So
Is there anybody else here that's into the paranormal stuff in real life, or is it just this
me.
guy?
I've been doing it for 11 years.
Okay.
So.
Do you think you would be into that if it wasn't for Ghostbusters, or did that light the candle?
That's where it ties back into.
Or is it a chicken and the egg thing? Really?
No, I actually was haunted by a ghost when I was a little kid. My mom actually walked into my room, heard me screaming as a toddler in my crib, and she saw this patchwork quilt floating over my head. It was gray, black and white, and she said it was ruddy, there's holes in it. So she screamed for it to get out of here, and it just went through the wall back over to my mom's friend's house, where she had a ghost that was attached to her, an old uncle that was supposedly attached to her. So after that, my mom said there was always a dark energy in the house. It was like we had the southern exposure windows, and it'd always be hazy and dark and shady in the house. Mom was like, what's going on here? So she contacted a paranormal investigator in New York City named Dr. Isis, or Osis. He's an old guy. He did a parapsychology, he did classes in New York City. So he said, he talked to her and said, just tell her to get out of there. It's not an entity that should be there. Tell her to get out of there. So my mom just went in one day and said, you're not wanting to get out of here. She said she saw this black mist just leave the house.
Wow.
And she after that, and so she told me that story when I was a kid. I was like, this is cool.
Do you remember any of that?
No,
at
I
all?
was too young. But if I went
young.
into some kind of like hypnosis, I'd probably remember it. But I was only like 1.5, 2.
Huh.
So
Interesting. I'm always fascinated to hear those stories because I myself don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but I've heard many compelling stories from smart people that I trust.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't say that you're wrong.
That goes back to
You
your
know?
psychic makeup. People have the mind's eye, which they can see through the realm of reality. It's like you're seeing to the other world. So most people blot it out. Like through school, you were blotted out. You don't believe in the fantastic anymore. As a kid, kids have imaginary friends who could actually be ghosts. There's actually been cases of like, it's like, the old lady always yells at me. She sits on the chair over there. Then you find out the old woman died in the house. She lived there for like 80 years or something. And it matches.
That's what the Sixth Sense was about.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
kid and his imaginary friend.
Exactly, yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've always been kind of spiritual as a lactose intolerant person. So for me, it's less of what you can see, and it's more about what you can't see. I mean, what happens to you when you die. I would be more interested in that kind of research, because what happens to your consciousness? It's just disappear. I mean, does it go
Energy can't be
somewhere?
destroyed. Energy is always going to be around. You can't dispel energy, so.
Yeah.
Same thing
But
with
at the same time, the ideas on that theory are different, or understanding is different. Whereas we have the consciousness idea. To me, soul equals a synapse. Synapses are just parts in your mind that are firing. They'll stop firing. Synapses stop going.
Yeah.
It's done. The law of conservation of energy isn't necessarily that I'm a consciousness, I'm a soul, I go somewhere. It's, well, your body is made of elements, it's chemicals. That stuff is going to decompose, go into the dirt, and
Yes.
turn into something else.
Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that your soul is being recycled, it's your body is going into something and being reserved, and that energy is never going to go away, because then it's going to go into tree roots will come down, they'll suck it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, well, yeah.
Sunlight energy will go into it. Animals will eat it. It gets turned into poop. Something else eats it. It fertilizes something, and there you go. And then you have Simba comes into the whole
So
thing.
I'm curious,
So-
was the movie Ghostbusters sort of a way for you to sort of make fun of and parody these sort of maybe subconscious fears from your past?
I think it actually helped more with not fearing the unknown.
Yeah.
Because these guys,
Yeah.
these guys look at things that should be terrifying, and they just look at it like a job, like you mentioned earlier. I mean, you're looking at this massive marshmallow man walking down the street, and your first instinct is to shoot at it.
Or it's a sailor, you get it laid,
Yeah.
problem goes away.
There you go.
Yeah, I love how mundane they make the whole activity, even though it's a very controversial thing in
Yes.
the film.
Yeah.
I'm not a major fan of the second movie, but one thing I really liked is how they're like doing like kids' birthday parties
Yep,
and stuff.
yep.
That's
Oh, yeah.
great. That's a great little
You guys,
touch.
have, you guys have done that.
We've done some good
We've done a
parties.
couple of those.
Yeah.
Mostly ends with us getting silly stringed by 30 little kids running around, which is it's a lot of fun.
Are
but
there a lot of kids nowadays that are really into Ghostbusters?
their parents get him into it. And the last one we went to, he was a kid who went into
He had a form of brain cancer.
Brain cancer, yeah.
And
Okay,
he had
that
his,
must have
he
cheered
had
him
his
up.
last treatment, and
They went to
you know,
celebrate. for his birthday.
like it was the first time he was able to be a kid in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was only,
'Cause in the
he-
hospital,
He
yeah.
turned 7.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
7.
so
Yeah.
yeah, he's been battling this forever.
So he
basically.
loved the movie. So he had all his classmates. They were 7 years old. Just a bunch of them out for school at the party. So we just had a good time with all these kids, and they knew who we were. Most of them did. Some of them really didn't, but
There's definitely an awareness, though. I mean,
Right.
like just today we were at a gas station, and I was in I call them my civvies. I was just in short and t-shirt, and Derek is out in his suit, and this little girl walking into the gas station says, "That's not the Ghostbusters car." And like, no, you're right. That's my 2010, Ford Escape. But I mean, a kid that was maybe 5 years old. I mean, she knew what it was.
previously I was
It
talking
is a
to
very timeless sort of comedy.
It is.
There's not a whole lot of
Usually
things
it's
that
the
date
parents.
it.
The parents get them into it because they love the movie, so then they'll pass it on
Yeah.
to their kids, and their kids will watch it.
And that's how you can tell they were good parents.
Yes.
No, I feel like too many people think movies are inferior simply because they were made before they were born. It's simply not the case. You can tell from the stories I've shared on my shirt that I'm a big Star Wars fan.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember watching those movies for the first time at all. Because
Really?
I watched them when I was so young. They just feel like they're part of my
Yep.
chemistry.
Yeah,
You know.
yep.
Absolutely.
Probably the same way Ghostbusters was. I remember the first time I watched Ghostbusters though, but it's part of you. Like
First movie I remember seeing in theaters, I think, was Babe.
Oh wow, yeah.
I have a very vague. It was either
Talking
Babe or
pigs.
Charlotte's Web.
Oh
It could
yeah.
have been Gordy, because Gordy came out around the same
That's
time.
true. Companies got to compete like that.
Of course.
Apparently, somebody told me this earlier. Apparently, people think Gordy is like a ripoff of Babe,
Yeah.
but it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
But Babe happened to come out first.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really interesting the way that works out.
I remember the first movie I remember seeing is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time.
Oh, God.
No, that was the video game Turtles in Time. But
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's samurais. This is so cool. And you watch it now, I'm like, this is.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
Terrible.
of 3.
Oh
That's
my
like
gosh.
I'm thinking of 3 right now.
It's just like, oh no. They bought a time machine at a flea market. That happened. Wow. Okay.
I don't know, think about it. There was a lot of properties around the same time of Ghostbusters that people just became massive fans
Yeah.
of. I mean, there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
It was
the
extremely
Transformers
adult.
was
Yeah.
huge.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe
Yep.
was huge.
Yep.
I feel like the mid '80s were like a
I'm thinking back
renaissance
to the
for
80s because they had like
nerds.
Predator, RoboCop, Nightmare on Elm Street. All those movies
Even
were
your Indiana
violent,
Jones.
bloody,
Yep,
and
Indiana
kids
Jones.
loved them. I remember playing like Top Gun in the middle of the on the.
And people still like run around
playground.
saying they're Tom Cruise outside.
I feel like
today.
I feel like Star Wars might have kind of ignited a spark
It did.
in Hollywood to
There was something
sort
that
of
said
bring
that's-
forth these sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
And after like
the world changed after Star Wars. It did.
no, it did.
It's changed. Like it's changed the whole.
Literally everything, yeah.
Except for mutton chops, because people still don't wear those. Every officer in the Imperial Army and in the Galactic Army, they all have mutton chops. Every one of them did, and they were huge. If you go
Yeah.
back, you watch it. Every guy except for
I remember they
General
were
Beers,
interviewing
yeah.
when I was watching the Star Wars panel for Comic-Con, and they asked Donald Gleason, who was a new cast member, they asked him, "Is your character evil?" And he goes, "Well, I'm British, so yes."
That is true. In Star Wars, if you're
Yes.
British, you're bad. And
Yep.
there's actually a good reason.
Unless you're
for the
Obi-Wan
mutton chops.
Kenobi.
That's into the script, and that's because really the Force isn't really there. Vader can't choke someone, So whenever they want to keep the going because they don't want to just be killed by the lightsaber and Vader finds out it's not working.
There's
so they
a-
pretend to be choked and then they just slap the mutton chops on there and there's a new guy.
That's Robot Chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great sketch. Yeah, it's
I knew
really
he was going
good.
with it, but I didn't want to cut him off.
Oh man, I love those Robot Chicken ones. The one with the guy who gets his arm cut off. He's like an architect. Oh, today's gonna be a day I get that great promotion.
And he was trying to keep them from fighting and
Yes.
Oh man.
You couldn't understand him because he's speaking English.
You can tell that's a good parody because, like, if you watch it and haven't seen any Star Wars movie, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
really.
it's not, no. Well, that's Seth Green. Seth Green is amazing. He just has a great sense of humor with that geek culture.
And he
stuff.
has a way of getting. He has enough connections where he can get some good people on there. Like he
Yep.
regularly gets Sarah Michelle Gellar
Yep,
to pop
he's in
in.
Buffy, yeah, Vampire Slayer.
He gets Mark Hamill to pop in all the time
Yeah.
for that too. So he just has really good connections with getting people in.
Patrick Warburton, I think, even
Yep.
showed up a few times because they're on Family Guy together. Yeah.
Yeah, they connect with people who love the properties they were involved with.
Yes.
You know, instead of just hiding it from the past. Or
Well, nowadays cameos are an expectation rather than just fan service.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that's kind of why Aykroyd's going to be in this new one. I mean, they feel like they had to throw something to the old.
Well, he's the
fans.
creator, though. He's the one
I
that
know.
it was
Yeah.
his
He's the
brainchild.
Stan Lee of
It was Vader.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is,
Stan
except
Lee.
was it? And Aykroyd was the one who
Yeah,
came
he
up with the
created it.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Him
it's all
and-
his idea.
Oh,
In
okay.
SNL, they're going to do like a skit where Ghostbusters were in space. The suits are made to be in space, and then they thought that's made too big of a budget, so let's make it into a movie that's like set current times. And
Was Ghostbusters produced at all by Lauren Michaels?
No.
No.
It was all an idea that Aykroyd had that was so just bizarre and
Off the
out
wall,
there
yeah.
that Harold Ramis actually was the one who helped him mold it into something workable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
it-
realistic.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying before, how it rides that line. If it were to sway too much into parody or taking it too seriously, it wouldn't have worked
No.
at all.
And wasn't Ivan Reitman actually, when the film premiered, he actually ran out of the theater because he thought it was going to be such a flop.
Yes,
Yeah.
He
did.
was completely scared, and to his surprise, everyone was
They
laughing.
did
and
a
loved it.
screening of it without any special effects in it, just the straight movie, and people were still loved it. So this is gonna be great. So they started adding the special effects in
Yeah,
it.
because this was one of the first big pop culture, like, just it took over. I mean, Star Wars did the same thing, but I mean, like, nobody had seen Ghostbusters before Ghostbusters.
Well, the strange thing is, it was a comedy, and putting all that much money into a comedy.
Yeah, it was
Other
unreal.
comedies in the past hadn't worked out like that, so they're
Yeah.
putting a lot of big budget on this comedy, and so they
And
were.
it made, if you even did inflation, it made just as much money back then as a big
Hunger Games going on here.
What is the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
I just hear it in my earbuds. I have no idea where it's coming from.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, no, that's fine. I don't mind.
I thought he was like, "Are you serious? You don't know the Hunger Games?"
No,
Like I teach, so
By
I
the
have
way,
nothing but children reading
That
these things.
that ring is just I'm not a big music person, but I think it's just like one note off of the Close
X-Files.
Encounters.
Oh, Close Encounters. Close Encounters. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, very similar.
Yep.
Are you guys familiar with Screen Junkies at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
It's a YouTube channel. They talk about movies and junk, and they recently had like a panel of 4 people, and they did like a tournament style sort of debate over what is the best summer blockbuster of all time. So they took like the top 12 highest grossing summer movies, pinned them against each other. There were huge movies here, like Star Wars, Jaws,
just
Ghostbusters.
Summer movies of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of all
Okay.
time.
Oh, yeah.
So like the 12 highest
Yeah.
grossing summer movies.
Yeah.
And there were some really heavy hitters here. And Ghostbusters ended up winning. It was between
Wow.
Ghostbusters and Star Wars. And
Wow.
I think the reason
That's wow.
I was surprised, and the reasoning they gave for it was because it's even they said, well, Star Wars is really like a bigger movie, but Ghostbusters is what you want for like a summer movie. It's just fun,
Yep.
and you go, you have a good time,
Yep.
and then you leave.
Yep.
And I never really thought about the movie that way, but it totally is like just a great kind of thing you want in a summer
is.
film.
And another thing with with Star Wars, I don't want to say it wasn't an original idea because that'd be a terrible thing to say. But at the
There are
time,
no
Star
original
Wars,
ideas.
No,
No.
especially not anymore. But when Star Wars came out, we were already fascinated with space. We were in the space race against Russia.
Yeah.
Star Trek was already big, so they had that whole space.
Star
feel
Wars
going.
came out in the
And Star
perfect
Wars,
time.
It did.
Yeah.
So Star Wars was awesome, and then in the mid '80s when Ghostbusters came around, there was nothing like it. There was no call for it.
Yeah.
You kind of had Poltergeist thing before that,
Yeah.
but this wasn't like a Poltergeist parody. It wasn't like your Hot Shots thing that came out to make fun of
Yeah.
Top Gun and everything. It was its own thing. It wasn't riding off of a natural phenomenon.
But
that was already
after
going.
Ghostbusters, there was a long time where people were really into ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's zombies. People are really
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
zombies,
zombies, yeah.
you know?
I mean,
And I think there was something in between, probably.
vampires.
Oh, yeah, vampires.
Oh, yeah, forgot
It
about
went from
vampires,
ghosts to
But
vampires
I don't know
to
if
zombies.
vampires were everybody. If it was just
Well-
teenage girls.
Well,
No,
that
I
was
would-
really
I would
teenage
say
girls.
everybody.
Because there was like Blade and a few other
Yeah,
really
there was
cool
Blade.
names.
And like Buffy the
Buffy the
Vampire.
Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Buffy, yeah.
we had
There's been
Vampire.
so many
Yep.
different vampire
Yep.
TV shows.
Vampire Lestat, all that fun stuff.
So I'm
Yeah.
skipping ahead. I'm going farther ahead here.
Yes, he went to the tail end of the vampire
Yeah.
craze to where it was.
I think Buffy was probably the
that
birth
was-
of the.
It
Oh,
was.
Buffy
Birth
was.
of that.
I remember like shows in the '90s. There was watching. There was because my sister had to go to like a religious studies class that every Catholic child was kind of forced to do, and I had to on VHS record Dawson's Creek for her. But after that, or before that, there was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and there was all that enjoyable. And then I kind of,
I've
you
never
know,
seen
I
an
got
episode of
hooked
that
onto
show, but
Dawson's
I've heard it's amazing.
Oh, Dawson's Creek is amazing.
I mean, but the way Joey comes in there and just tries to, I mean, no, the way, no, not Joey, I'm forgetting his name.
Pacey.
Pacey comes there and tries to steal Joey from Dawson. Ridiculous.
Ain't no one.
Ain't no one taking Joey from Dawson.
No, ain't no one.
Dang it, Pacey.
Oh, we're almost at the end here. I just have a couple more questions I want to
Alright.
ask you guys. Is there anybody else in the group? It's just you four, right?
We have about
No, no, no.
12 or so, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Roughly
fluctuates.
12 fluctuates.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 depends on.
Because if it was just the
moving
four,
where?
I was curious because I bet there's been at least one time where you've tried to discuss who is who in the cast. Like out of you four, who would be Bill Murray? Who would be Dan Aykroyd? Who would be? So did you guys
Well,
ever think
some
about
of us
that?
are mixes.
Well, we
We have
kind of
mixes.
resemble them sometimes.
Yeah, we have
You mean
kind of-
physically? Or
Not exactly
No.
physically, but in,
Well, I mean,
in the
I'm,
way
like,
we act.
I'm the only minority in the group, so like, I don't even
You're
look at
Winston.
myself.
well, if you're in the minority, you're Winston. You're wearing
kinda all have
you're
this-
wearing the darkest shade uniform.
I
So.
just show up for about 12 minutes of each event, and then I'm gone. And then you're there for me for a while.
So we got Winston,
no.
and we have the other three.
I'm very
I-
enthusiastic about spirits. I could be definitely a Ray.
He's the Ray.
I
He's
love
definitely a Ray,
ghosts.
yeah.
I love ghost busting. I just love it all. So I'm very excited every time we get to go do something. So
Okay.
I'm more calm, relaxed, and I wear the glasses. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
Egon.
Egon,
There you
yeah.
go.
I don't take anything seriously. I like to make fun of people. So.
Yeah.
So
Seems
there
like
you
a
go.
happy world
Perfect.
now.
yep.
There you go. We figured it out.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be more bloodshed, but
No, but
That
other
fits pretty
times
well.
we change. Sometimes someone's more of a certain character than not. But
Sometimes someone's more sarcastic than another, and then you become.
as the day
bacon
goes
for a few
on,
months.
we get more jaded. The day goes on, we get more jaded. Of, who are you gonna call?
this guy right
Everyone's. Who are you gonna call? Like, no, who are you gonna call? We're not calling ourselves, and everyone's always pointing at us like, "Hey, Ghostbusters! Hey, we're Ghostbusters!" Or
I like to divert to the Hellboy for that. It's hey, Ghostbusters! Yeah, I know I'm ugly, and just keep walking.
now this is a question I'm personally interested in, and if you don't feel like answering it, I could edit it out. But I'm just personally curious. For appearances, do you guys ever get any money from this, or is this something you do just for the love of it?
We don't. How do I put this? We don't request any money
Oh,
for
okay.
appearances or anything like that.
But if
people
they're
wanna
like,
make a
if people
donation,
say like, we'll give you $300 if you come to our son's birthday party,
Yeah,
you'll be
we
like,
won't
sure,
say
we'll
no to
take your
that.
money.
Sure,
Well,
absolutely.
we usually put it into the Ecto One or something that's into
to go
the,
back
Right.
to the group.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or the
somewhere.
Yeah.
or it's like write a check out to this.
Yeah, we've also
Yeah.
we've worked with the Children's Miracle Network in the past,
Okay.
and if somebody wants to make a large donation to
Oh,
us,
yeah.
we'll just tell them to make the large donation to
the
Children's
charity.
Miracle
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're not trying to get.
because we can't
No.
do
Right.
it as a group, but they
I
can do
assume
it.
not. I was just curious.
And we've had them donate big money to the Children's Miracle Network. That's
Right.
we
The
told them
first-
to do that. Yeah.
The first couple of years we were in existence, we ended up donating $500 each year to Children's Miracle Network. So, after that, it kind of got to be a chore.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
with the legalities of doing things like that, it's like, well, we just stopped doing it.
Is it
Tell
by,
people to make the
is it
donations
legality
on
you just dealing with them, or the fact that you're dealing with them in like Ghostbusters stuff?
their own. With the Ghostbusters, that, and with filing taxes and things.
Oh,
along those
yeah.
lines, it's like
That sucks all the fun out of it.
that's right.
It becomes a job.
That's where we
Like
need Lewis
yeah.
Tully, to help us
Right.
out. So
We were thinking about going to becoming or was it
a nonprofit.
non-profit, but
organization.
that's a lot of work. And you have to do a certain amount of this and that.
A
And
lot
it's
of
like,
paperwork.
Yeah,
Might as well
that's
just
right.
put an undisclosed envelope of
Yes.
money at the doorstep of a charity.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
Like Batman with criminals.
What's the most fun you guys have had so far
God.
doing this?
Well, the first year we went down to the St. Patty's Day parade in Chicago.
That was
a lot of
that
fun.
was
Yeah.
a blast. I mean, you've got hundreds of thousands of people just screaming at you, and that's when I said that the kids, you don't expect them to know who you are, but they're all sitting there wanting to get high fives from you. And,
Are you
so-
guys pretty theatrical when you're out and about?
Oh yeah,
Public?
Yeah.
you pretty much know what they're doing. You can just sit there picking your nose, and they're gonna laugh and have a good time. Like,
Yeah.
you don't. It's just being a Ghostbuster. It's
Derek
great.
knows that one from experience. He tried it before.
Personally, I just sweat a lot. That's my talent. So, yeah, that's all I do in public.
Yep. I think one of my favorite things ever is there is a movie theater that asked us to come there one time, and they do a 4D show of Ghostbusters where we actually get to interact
Oh,
with
that
the
was a
crowd
lot of
while
fun,
doing
yeah.
things.
Oh, you get to interact with
So
them?
like
Okay.
in the opening scene when you have the catalog library cards flying out, we got to throw like note
Cards,
cards
yeah.
at people at them going.
Oh,
When
that's
Stay
cool.
Puft blew up, we threw marshmallows out
Yeah.
everywhere. During they paused the film, we'd come out and interact with projected ghosts all over the
So
place.
we'd actually they had to put a proton stream on the screen, so we'd go up, line up, and shoot the ghost and throw the trap out and trap the ghost. It looked like actually doing it. It was really a lot of fun. People were cheering for it. We come back through with the trap all lit up, like we got it, and everyone's cheering and high fives were going by. It's like,
That was
Yeah.
the first, like last year was still a good time, but the first year the script was simple, it was to the point. There was no weird, goofy ad-lib. We didn't have the ad-lib stuff we did both times. It was fun,
Yeah.
but the script was like just kind of do what they're doing in the movie, and that felt perfect.
Do you guys ever choreograph stuff? Because isn't there like a little dance they do, or at some point,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
maybe
we
during
do
the
that.
commercial or
Yeah.
something?
It's in the music video for the theme song with Ray
Oh
Parker.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
Who was it that was originally going to do it, and then they turned it down? There was like a big name artist that turned it
Back
down.
to Future.
he was in the news.
Yeah.
The thing with him was that it was the song that's used. Hugh Lewis in the News had that in a different song,
Got a new-
and
Got a new drug.
New
New
drug,
drug.
and then
It was like-
he kind of ripped it off and.
but it was just like
Yeah.
Vanilla
I feel like
Ice.
it might have been
Yeah.
just a little bit too much for Ghostbusters.
No.
You were able to fit it in, squeeze it into Back to the Future.
I mean, Hugh Lewis in the News. He was kind of like they were the '80s, along with them and Kenny
Oh, yeah.
Loggins.
Yes.
Like they could do no wrong. They just let's make a theme song for everything. Yeah.
That Ghostbusters theme song is amazing. I think the fact that this movie has a theme song,
They don't do
Is
it
it-
anymore for movies.
No.
Movies don't have
No.
theme songs anymore.
I can't really think of any other movie that has
No.
it.
We played it at my wedding, and we
Oh,
were
yeah.
all dancing.
Yeah, we all
dancing.
because all of us were there for his wedding
Yeah.
like a few months ago.
And everybody was confused except for about 8 people, and we were all dancing. And, yeah.
I wasn't around at the time, but did the song come out before the movie as a
Same
way
time,
to promote it?
It was
Kind of like any Will Smith movie
Yeah,
Yeah.
that came
Yeah.
out in the '90s.
Oh yeah, those are the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
other. Those are the
Yeah.
only other songs that are based on
Yep.
4 movies. Yeah.
Those are usually the best part of his movies. Like,
Yeah.
you got a new Will Smith
Wiki
song.
wiki wow.
Yeah.
Wiki wow wow
That was definitely
wins.
the best part of that movie. Between that, and it was between that and the giant spider. And the
That
giant spider
giant
was just like,
steampunk spider was pretty cool.
God, I missed disco.
I also really enjoyed the sequence where they have those collars on and the
Yeah.
magnetic razor that's coming for them.
Yeah.
I feel
Good
like
stuff.
Wild Wild West, I think, is a good example of the kind of bad movie Ghostbusters could have been.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know, I feel like if they would have made some very minor changes to the structure of Wild Wild West, it could have been another Ghostbusters.
Well, I feel like if you had a celebrity presence that was bigger, I mean,
Bigger than Will Smith?
No, I mean in like Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
I mean, these guys were popular, yeah, but
But they were schlubby.
They weren't,
Yeah.
they weren't the kind of superstars.
They weren't movie stars.
No.
That's what I like about it. Is it's a very the movie is dirty and they look frazzled most of the time.
They look like real people.
Yeah, and the second movie they cleaned them all up. Their jumpsuits are always clean. The only thing was
makeup all
plastic,
over.
some pink slime, which looked like crap on them. And the first movie was like it was clear. It was like
It's a
visceral,
lived-in
like-
universe.
Yeah,
That's what
and-
makes it.
yeah.
That's what makes
They're
it really
smoking
work.
cigarettes. It's just like everyone was smoking. There's like this haze in the room every time you go
And
in.
Winston had no mustache.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have a mustache in the first one.
No, he had like
Oh,
a
in the
little-
second one,
He
okay.
had like a little chia pet fro going on, and then
he
they took
had
away his
to
mustache.
look- They had
Okay,
to
I'm
look
curious.
more
Was
youthful in the
Ghostbusters
second
2
one.
also PG?
It was PG. I think
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was
PG.
PG. Yep.
Yeah.
And that one they
was
kids.
fun.
They made it kid friendly. The second one was made
except for
because
the
of
heads on pikes scene.
Oh yeah,
that part was
right.
pretty.
That wasn't kid
Heads on
friendly.
pikes.
No, it
yeah.
No, but I think
I'm still amazed the first Ghostbusters was PG. I mean, the scene where the ghost is taking off
Raised pants.
Ray's pants,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's PG?
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
Man, the 80s must have been awesome.
I mean, look at 16 candles in the first 5 minutes. You have woman topless, and that's PG-13.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
and Titanic was PG-13, and Kate Winslet takes it off.
That's
so.
true.
Well, I'm sure James Cameron really pushed hard for a PG-13 on that
was
one.
Oh yeah.
art.
He wanted that money.
That was art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Wait, was Pandora? No, was Pandora? It's not Avatar. Was
Avatar.
Avatar PG-13?
I think it was PG-13.
Because
Yeah.
there's some
Yeah.
alien boobies in
Yeah,
there.
there
Yeah,
was, yeah.
You don't get that much money from an R movie.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yep.
Yeah. If Mad Max was PG-13, or no, it
It
is
was PG-13,
PG-13.
and I was
Oh
waiting
wow,
to be
yeah,
R.
that's a pretty hard
It was,
PG-13. Yeah, yeah.
It was. It was right on the edge.
That father guy was a creepy man.
Yeah.
In that Mad
The-
Max movie.
yeah,
the newer one.
Yeah.
The guy they called
Immortal
Dad.
Joe.
Yeah, the one with the mask
Yep.
on.
Yeah, very
Immortal
scary.
Joe, yeah. It was a good movie though.
Money can buy you a good rating.
So can Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who was
And,
awesome in that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
amazing.
led that movie.
That movie and Star Wars 7, I hope, is an awakening for Hollywood to start
Well,
using some more practical
yeah,
effects.
Absolutely,
Yes.
that was so relieved. I mean, I think in the minority where I actually liked the alternate universe Star Trek movies that came out recently in the past few years.
Yeah.
I mean, the lens flaring was.
If
I don't-
anything, the lens
but-
flares will wake people up.
They will. They'll bring you back in.
It's hard to look away.
But that was a lot of CGI, a lot of green screening, and then Star Wars for Abrams moved to that, and he's like, nope, everything's practical.
Yeah,
Everything's gonna be
everything that
looks-
if you can do it
Yes.
practically, it will do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Chuck Testa.
I've always been like, no matter how good practical effects get, even if they look like the real thing, it's always going to be better with practical. Because acting is reacting, and when you don't have anything to react to, you're not going to get as good of a performance.
Yes.
Jurassic Park. I mean, that was a real
First Jurassic Park.
animatronic.
Yeah,
animatronics,
yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah.
I love Jurassic World. Absolutely loved it. It's
It was
probably
good,
my
yeah.
favorite film of the summer so far.
Really?
I love Jurassic
More than
World.
Mad Max?
More than Mad Max. Like
Wow.
more than that. And then, well, again, that's more post-apocalyptic. If you're not Dread, it's hard for me to get into you. And I'm still sad Dread 2 is
Yeah,
never
we
going
need
to
Dread
happen.
We should
but
be on
like,
part three.
yeah,
okay.
we should be on part 3. But to me, Jurassic Park
Carl
was a bigger
Urban?
part of me growing
Yeah.
up. I loved the message of I'm not a big zoo person. I am not a big SeaWorld person. And Jurassic Park, that's their message. It is
Yeah.
these animals, highly intelligent, and if you try and treat them like they're an amusement park, they're going to react violently, and this isn't right.
Yeah.
And so that would just resonated awesome with me. I love the movie. But one of the best parts of the movie is, of course, you have when you see the T-Rex in this movie, in the second one. It is the way it comes out. It is awesome, but it does not. It does not.
It's
beat
definitely a way to rile up the crowd.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it does not beat the T-Rex bursting from the fence and stepping on that Ford Explorer.
Eating the
Yeah.
lawyer from the toilet.
Yes, and then the story
Yes.
behind all the animatronics in that movie of how then the T-Rex was left out in the rain. It actually kind of messed up the animatronic.
Yeah.
They would just
I
turn on
remember
and start
Spielberg
doing
wanted it to rain because he wanted to hide the magic of the animatronic
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Stan Winston's like, it's not gonna work. It's not designed to hold water.
No.
And it was like, I've
And it was
seen
geeking out.
I've seen like special behind the scenes
Yep.
where like the T-Rex is like shuddering and like malfunctioning because it's too heavy.
And then it just think they're down a break, just eating, and the T-Rex just turns on and starts roaring like, oh!
I went on the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios.
I did too.
Did you go on that one?
I did too.
That's like the part where it's like you're on the water and all of a
The
sudden
T-Rex comes down, and that's
where
when
it's like right above you, and it's scary because it's like
It's like
then
a
you-
big
then-
practical.
Yeah, then you
T-Rex.
go down this water slide like whoa! It's like you're at the end like
right as it comes down.
it's like you go right between its legs. It is right there. It's in the shadow at first until something opens up and it's right there looking at you.
and practical effects, it actually takes a dump on the car
As it goes on,
passing.
yeah.
And then they actually hired Ian Malcolm to come out and be like, that is one big pile of shit.
There's one thing I want to point out really quickly about Jurassic World that really bothered me, and that's that they were like, we need to make this new dinosaur because people don't like dinosaurs anymore. They're getting bored by them.
Yeah.
And then they reference later, they're like, why doesn't
why don't the dinosaurs have feathers? And they're like, well, they wanna make the dinosaurs look like how we remember them. And I'm like, why not just make dinosaurs with feathers, and then that'll bring people back.
That's also part of the movie, in that earlier in the
love
movie,
to see that.
when they have Chris Pratt interacting with Dallas, is that she is talking about cooking this new dinosaur, and he's like, when is dinosaurs being around not cool enough?
Yeah.
Like, it's a comment
Yeah.
on society, like, why do we need
Do you think
things
people
bigger
would
and
get
better
bored
all
of
the
them?
time? In real life.
In real life,
you never
yeah.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
what's
know.
sad.
They say that a Stegosaurus is like an elephant to some people. It's not scary
sense.
anymore.
I can see that making sense.
So they do that.
Although at the
And
same time, people still do visit zoos.
Yeah.
That's
They're
true.
always going to visit zoos because they're still going to have kids that have never seen them.
yep.
So I don't think it'd ever go out of style.
But you don't ever see people going, you guys, we gotta go to the zoo. They have giraffes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my
Sad,
God.
giraffes are amazing creatures.
When
They
the-
are.
Yeah, like when the grilled stuffed burrito came out at Taco Bell, everybody was talking about that, but no one's talking about it now.
Somebody told me this, but I'm not sure if they were joking or not. But the guy who like grabs the margaritas in that scene in Jurassic World, somebody told me that that's actually Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett.
Because
I don't know
they
if
had a
that's true or not.
Margaritaville
I've
in
heard
Jurassic
that.
World there. It was
Yeah.
actually, Yeah, I've seen that on cosplays in like San Diego Comic Con. It was just, I saw a guy holding it's like a
That's a great cosplay. I love those really subtle ones.
Yes.
Yep.
Like the guy in Star Wars, and they're leaving Cloud City. he's got
Oh,
the
yeah,
ice
the
cream
guy with the
maker.
ice cream maker?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Cloud City, where
yeah.
the black guy's running away with the ice cream maker. He's like runs past the screen. It's like, that's a cosplay
People
do.
cosplay that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really only do that for big movies.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the end of the show here. Is there anything else you guys want to share, say, or anything?
We're the best. We're beautiful. We're the only Ghostbusters.
Also, you need to Febreze your suit like at least once a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna do this.
Very
Yeah.
important tip.
And if there's any Ghostbusters aficionados out there who want to make their own costume or something, what would you suggest doing?
As someone who started out with probably the worst pack of the group, because mine was literally, before we started and getting into the group, I literally put my stuff together for Halloween, and then I wanted to expand on that, and I mean, my patches were wrong, things were wrong, and my pack, I literally went to my parents' garage, found spare junk, and just threw it together in a weekend. And if it's anything, it's that if you need to start something small, don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by people who have the bigger stuff. You'll get yourself there someday, depending on how much you actually want to stick to the fandom.
Rule of thumb: if you don't have time, expect to spend money.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
you don't want to spend money, you've got a lot of time ahead of you to build it.
exactly.
That's a good point.
I built mine piece by piece.
Yeah.
You can buy a frame that's a shell, that's a vacuum form shell, and just put it on, and that's hollow. But then if you put lights and batteries in it, it fills up the space.
There's a lot of times when people build costumes, they'll buy like a cheap toy that's supposed to be that prop, and then they'll take it apart, repaint it, add different parts just to make it
sometimes
look a lot
works
better.
out fine, yeah.
Yeah, like a toy chainsaw,
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's seriously have fun with it. Anyone can be anything they want. It doesn't matter.
Don't take it seriously.
No.
Yeah, like I was saying before, I have experience building costumes too. Like my friend and I, we wanted to build Joker and Batman costumes, and we spent a whole summer going through thrift shops trying to find stuff. And it's fine if it doesn't look great at first, because his Batman costume was originally just hockey pads and a black shirt.
Yeah.
It's just too perfect.
He had one of those
Yeah.
Batman masks that only goes past half your face, and then it buckles on like a baseball cap. And then he just put a ski mask over the rest of his head.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he did at first, but we made those costumes in 2009, and he now has a Batman costume. He's evolved it over the years.
absolutely.
Over years, you just slowly add
Yes.
pieces to it,
That's what you have to do.
and now it looks amazing. And he even made a cowl out of paper mache that fits his head.
And even if
Yeah.
you are someone, because there will always be the person who is kind of just OCD, anal retentive on something, and you
That
know
definitely
if
helps.
If you can't do like what you think needs to be done right away for it to be perfect, have that be your bigger project and do something simple. You can find, like, there are so many things out right now where you can take the great Daredevil series that's on Netflix. You
Yeah,
can be
it's a
that
very simple
Daredevil, and it's
costume.
something simple, people
Yep.
will get it, and that's what you do until you can do what you want to in
Yep.
full scale.
Right.
Because you can find something low budget, low hero to
Yeah.
try that, and people will get it and they'll love it.
I always wanted to do a Ferris Bueller costume, and I eventually did. But I knew that there were some parts that were going to be really difficult to find. And I was like, I'm never going to find that jacket.
Oh, yeah.
And then I found a company that makes like replica costume pieces.
Yep. Might spend a little bit more, but it'll look good.
Yeah. So I asked for that for Christmas, and then I got it. And then once I got it, I was like, now I can continue.
Yes.
And I can make
that
this
one
costume.
piece is gonna make it. Yeah.
Yep.
And every once in a while, you can look out and find things. Like I do this, but I also have handmade my own Star Trek Next Gen movie uniform. And that was a matter of going online, finding patterns, and that was the first thing I've ever sewn in my life.
There's something
other than little patches.
Yeah, my friend who made the Batman costume, he didn't know how to sew, but now he's like really good at it. Yeah.
Prior to
There's
winning
something really there's something really satisfying about making your own costume,
Right,
especially if it's based on a movie or something.
Prior to doing my proton pack, I never had used a Dremel before. So, it's one of those things that you learn. And, I mean, I got it. And
It's a fun
I use
hobby.
it all the time.
Fun hobby to build costumes. You get to play around. You can break it out every Halloween.
Yeah, or multiple. We go out probably 5, 6, 7 times a year doing stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, I think like 2 years ago we did like probably 20 events throughout the year. I mean, it was busy a couple of years ago.
It was. Yeah.
I don't know why it
We
is,
still
but
do a lot
most
of events.
We've
costumes.
turned down a lot of things now because we get too.
I don't know why it is, but most costumes people try to make are always they're very hot. No matter what you make, it's gonna be hot.
Things about this: the jumpsuit in the wintertime doesn't work very well. You freeze, but in the summertime you sweat. It's like not really.
I mean, you can layer.
You layer, yeah. You have to
It's
put a lot
really
of
only
layers.
meant for painting houses.
Yeah. It's a jumpsuit. You put it on over your clothes to go to a house to exterminate a ghost.
Although one
Yeah.
time I remember I did Power Rangers one year. It was like a Halloween thing, and me and my roommate were the Red and Green Ranger, and because we wanted it's gonna be dumb if we wear these for just one day. So we played tennis in them for like an hour, and we were making all the noises while we were hitting, like what's up, as we were hitting everything, and people were gathering laughing.
So you actually wore the whole.
I wore the whole everything. I was in boots, everything, and when I was done, I took my tennis racket, I played it like a flute, and I put it in a holster, and I walked out of there. And people were like, "What the?" And this was on the UW Whitewater campus. and people were just, "Sit!"
That's great.
Just, oh my God, what are these guys doing?
That's awesome.
Well, thanks guys for coming on the show.
Yeah.
You guys have you guys been here for the time when they screened
This
it
is our
before?
third year now. Yeah.
Third year now.
First year they played the first movie. Last year they played the second movie. Now they're playing both movies.
Okay. They're not too long, about an hour and a half,
hour,
right?
Hour and 20-some minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
5, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. I
you.
unfortunately can't make it. I'm just going to ask one more question to close it out. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters. Suck it up, boys. Don't just do it.
Actually,
Suck it up.
we're not going to call anybody. They call us. We don't call ourselves. So who are we going to call? We're going to call someone else. Well,
Who? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call the police.
You ask me then. That'll make more
who are
sense.
you going to call?
Wisconsin Ghostbusters.
There we go. Awesome.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right,
you.
thanks.
That was a good time.
All right, please put my drinking cup back. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Buddy Page.
Hello and welcome to Inflate Your Ego. I'm Leo Costello. Well, it's only been about a year and 18 episodes of doing this podcast, and I actually got a chance to interview one of my favorite internet personalities, Doug Walker, also known as the Nostalgia Critic. Doug is one of the most well-known movie critics on the internet. As the Nostalgia Critic, Doug is mostly known for reviewing cheesy, obscure, bad 90s movies like Shazam, a movie where Shaquille O'Neal plays a genie that comes out of a boombox, and also movies like Space Jam or the Garbage Pail Kids movie. His reviews have since evolved to include multiple characters and actors, small sketches, and all sorts of other zany stuff. He also occasionally reviews TV shows from the 90s and even nostalgic commercials, as well as some top 10 lists. Actually, they're top 11 because he likes to go one step beyond. I've been a huge fan of the Nostalgia Critic for about 7 years now, starting with his review of The Pagemaster, a movie where Macaulay Culkin plays a kid who goes to a library and turns into a cartoon and goes inside of a bunch of books. It's a weird movie, and I was so excited to see that somebody else knew about it and was talking about it in a way that made me laugh. Doug has a great sense of humor with these reviews, and his comic timing is amazing. The reviews are also oddly cathartic if it's a movie that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's kind of like in the back of your brain and you don't really remember if the movie was real or not. To have him talk about it and make fun of it is really, really funny. I really feel honored to be able to meet Doug Walker and talk to him. This was one of those interviews that makes me feel like I'm in the right career path. The conversation I had with him was really good. I got to talk about some interesting things. However, it is a bit more Q&A than I usually do. That's because I just had so many questions I wanted to ask him. I'm going to admit I was a bit nervous, and there were a couple times where I got either tongue-tied or couldn't think of anything to say. So it's a little more awkward than most of my interviews, but it's still a good time. Ideally, I would have liked to have a little bit more time before we start recording to kind of break the ice a little bit. Doug was also nice enough to let me take some pictures of his studio where he records the Nostalgia Critic reviews and a couple other things. If you want to check out these pictures, you can go to my website at leo-costello.com/podcast. That's leo-costello.com/podcast. You can find all of Doug Walker's work as the Nostalgia Critic at channelawesome.com. I still can't believe I'm saying this, but here's episode 19 of Inflate Your Ego with the Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
All right, Doug Walker, it is an awesome pleasure to meet you.
It's an awesome pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Should I call you Mr. Critic, Doug Walker, Dog Walker?
You can call me God because it's just Doug spelled backwards. The only thing missing is you.
Oh, that's cute.
You saying it, so... It's almost really clever. I never have quite
Almost.
found a way to make it, like, totally clever, but that's the best I can guess.
No, I didn't see it coming until like right before the punchline, and I was like, "Oh, you devil!" So, I've actually been a fan of yours since my first year of college, which is 2009. I was really like, there was something really cathartic about your videos that I really enjoyed because like there's like a lot of weird like library shelf 90s cheese movies that I didn't think anybody else knew existed or like were fading from my memory, and then you were reviewing them. Like one that comes to mind is like Warriors of Virtue, like Karate Kangaroos. I was so glad to see somebody like reviewing these, and I really enjoyed your sense of humor and your sense of timing and everything. And I just like I got hooked, and I just like watched all of them. I think I wrote down a note here to think when I started watching it. The most recent one was, it was like The Page Master. That's when I jumped in. Mm-hmm. And The Page Master was a movie that like I was fascinated by because I couldn't decide what it was or anything. So what made you like want to start doing like these videos, and did you plan it to become sort of this big thing, or were you just doing something fun on the side at the time?
I think whenever you start something like this, you're kind of hoping it'll be a big thing, but you kind of don't think it will, but you try it anyway. And so when it does, I think you're all the more thankful. But yeah, it just started off as a hobby. I uploaded a video of me quitting my job that got a lot of hits. Then I started doing these 5-second movies where I just took a famous movie and condensed it down to 5 seconds roughly, and those became a big hit. So I wanted to see if I, like myself, acting and writing wise and editing wise, could still be funny. So I started doing Nostalgia Critic, and people really seemed to like it. And from then on, people found me. Mike Machad said that he was putting together a new media company called Channel Awesome, and he loved to use me as sort of like the means to get it started and get it going, and he would get other producers and other people together, and he pretty much put the site together and made the company, and been going strong ever since.
Yeah, I've always been wondering where you lie in that hierarchy of Channel Awesome, because it's sort of like this small little empire of reviewers and personalities.
Where do I lie? I mean, I'm a producer. I do make content. I do show up to the business meetings, and I try to give input on what direction I think we should go, but I have no business mind, and I know I don't. So I never act like I do. And if I feel something might
be good a different direction, I'll bring it up, but most of the times I do, it's usually wrong. So I sort of know to stick mainly to the entertainment, because I know my strong point is getting people to watch my stuff, not necessarily what makes business sense. I'm not a numbers person. I'm really bad at that stuff.
Did you go to school at all for video production or anything like that? Or
I went to Northern Illinois University studying communications, sort of with an emphasis in film and video. I was thinking about going to California and doing the even more serious route, but I was realizing the sort of way you have to be to survive in LA is very different from what I was becoming, and I knew I wouldn't like it there. I wouldn't be happy.
it's very much a luck game. I mean, yeah.
It isn't. It's a lot of luck, but it is a lot of. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of negotiating. It's a lot of compromise. It's a lot of backstabbing. It's a lot of double talking and
Drama.
Yeah, and anyone that can do it, great. You know, I can't, and I totally acknowledge that. So I just sort of decided to go into illustration for a bit, and then doing this as a hobby surprisingly took off. So in a bizarre way, without aiming for it, I still sort of got the goal I was looking for, just in a totally different way.
What event ignited the spark that made you want to like put on a black hat, black suit coat, and a tie, and just put a camera in front of you and talk about a bad movie?
I guess I always liked film critics. I liked criticism. I liked reviews. I loved Siskel and Ebert. I loved on The Daily Show, they had a critic on there. They had two critics. One was Beth Lilford, and the other one, I always forget his name, and I wish I could apologize to this guy every single time I forget his name. But they used two critics on there that were very, very funny, and then it just went down to him, and he was very funny. And I loved watching Lewis Black. And so I always thought, wouldn't it be funny if there was sort of a Lewis Black persona, sort of a Lewis Black Daffy Duck persona that reviewed film, and then I'll start going through that nostalgic phase everybody goes through, could argue we're still going through. And I said, well, this could be fun to talk about, because wouldn't it be funny if the guy felt very betrayed by his nostalgia because it's not as good as he remembers it? And yeah, I just figured I need some sort of visual identity, because I'm kind of a fan of, if you can recognize their outline, their silhouette, then you have a good character. It just makes
a good way to think about it. Yeah.
It makes good branding and marketing sense to do. I mean,
all you need is the tie, the glasses, and the hat. You're gold.
Yeah, well, even and Mickey Mouse, all you need are 3 circles. I mean, that's how good an icon is.
Yeah.
So it has to be something simple, but still something distinct. I thought, I sort of like the idea of someone starting to try and look professional, but then gave up halfway.
It's kind of half-assed.
Yeah, it's like starting to put a suit on and then going, this is good enough.
That brings me to my one of the questions. Like, this is the question like I've been like dying to know, because I know you're a smart guy, and
no, you clearly don't know me.
Okay, well, I know you're smart when it comes to what makes a good movie a good movie. One of the things I really like about your videos is, they're very goofy, and you have a lot of good jokes and things like that. But a lot of the times you have you're very good at putting words to what you're thinking about a certain movie, and it's I can tell that you know what makes a good movie a movie. Like the one I'm thinking of is like the Cat in the Hat video. At the end, you kind of go into this kind of big spiel, and I'm like, oh, he really knows what he's talking about here. But I was curious because you do all your reviews like in front of like a white wall, and I noticed sometimes it looks white, sometimes it looks blue. I'm just curious if kind of like how the Nostalgia Critic, he kind of half-asses his suit, if it's intentional that you're kind of like half-assing the set. I'm not trying to like diss you or anything. I'm just curious.
No, there was a time when I was when I brought the critic back, I was trying to figure out, because I was at a different location, and should I do the lighting a little different? Should the exposure or the white balance be a little different? So the first couple times I played around with it a bit to see what looks best. And the one I like the most is the one where the wall looks kind of bluish, but I look very warm in this. I feel it helps me jump out a little bit more. And blue is my favorite color too, and I think just orange and blue are good contrast colors. We were talking about before with Mad Max, Fury Road. I mean, it's blue and orange because the orange totally pops out in front of the blue. So that was the intent there. But yeah, in the early days, it was just me trying to figure out what looks best. So trying a few different things. And I thought that looks best. The only downside is that I have to use a light on me. It's a tungsten light, and it's a very warm, hot light.
Yeah, it looks-
and I don't use it for anything else except that, but it never looks as good without the tungsten light, so I always have to put that damn thing on.
Yeah, and also like, I talked to somebody once. I was like, "Do you know who the Nostalgia Critic is?" And they just go, "Is that the guy that just films himself in front of a white wall and talks about movies?"
Yes, it is.
And yeah, that's
I
what I
got
said.
even lazier.
That's what I said.
Now
Yes,
I do
it is.
vlogs.
No, but like I was like, oh, like you're that person was just like not interested because of that fact, and I'm like, well, I think that's part of the joke in a way, because like if you took the Nostalgia Critic with the loose tie and the white T-shirt with the suit coat and you put him in like a really high production value set and everything, it just probably wouldn't look right. Like it works better when it kind of looks lo-fi.
And I comment on this how.
Oh no, I'm just.
Usually there's a question mark at the end of what you say.
Oh, is that what a question is? The things with the squiggly line and the dot below it?
Yes, you're learning a lot today. This is great.
How many reviews have you done now? Do you know like a rough number?
Oh, jeez. I like I said, I'm terrible with numbers, and I don't usually keep track of that stuff. I'm sure somebody somewhere, has them all marked down.
Yeah.
I mean, and even then, does that include like the editorials? Does that include the special little half videos? Does that include the top 11s and stuff? So I don't know. It's got to be minimum 300 or 400. Just things with Nostalgia Critic in the title. Minimum. Yeah, which is still pretty crazy to think, and the fact that we've gone to 2 weeks now for the full reviews too. So it's hard to say if you're talking about reviews or editorials or top 11s, what have you.
There was a time where like the Nostalgia Critic went away, but then he came back. Was that just a moving period for you, or were you actually thinking of not doing any more?
When I stopped doing Nostalgia Critic, I was totally satisfied and totally happy with stopping. Not that I hated the character or anything or hated doing it, but it was one of those things where it's like I was feeling kind of like that guy said, is this all he's going to do, just talk in front of a white wall? And I was feeling that too. I was feeling very stuck in this white wall, and I felt there's more stuff we could do. We need to evolve. We need to change. If anything, a product and an art form can't grow unless you try different stuff. And I just felt like we were getting repetitive and there wasn't enough time. So we tried a different show. We tried doing demo reel. It didn't get the numbers we were looking for. But the plus side is that I was getting kind of a second wind to come back and do it again, with the idea that we could do it in different ways. Like there's different ways you can do a review. It doesn't have to be a guy talking in front of a white wall and that's it. You can do sketches, you can do songs, you can incorporate other characters, you can make your point in so many different ways. And for me, that became really exciting. So
yeah, I jumped on the wagon like about maybe 1 or 2 years after you started doing it. And in my mind, the Nostalgia Critic is still just you talking and showing clips and making jokes, and that's it. Like the extra characters and the set pieces and the little skits that go in between the reviews and stuff, and the opening theme song and everything. That still feels new to me, in a way. And it's crazy that that part of it has been going on for at least a couple years now, right?
Yeah, I think we still did just the weekly talk in front of the wall for I think it was about 4.5 years, something like that. And this one, I think we've been doing this for 3, the newer style. So it's catching up, but yeah, it's still technically we've done the one just me talking over clips for longer.
Do you feel like you're running out of movies to do?
That's the nice thing.
As far as nostalgic?
Well, that's the nice thing is that, I mean, as you get older, movies become older and nostalgic and stuff like that, so you can update, you can sort of add a year. But on top of that, nostalgia right now is so huge, and it's just so big, and everything that was popular in the 80s or 90s is getting a movie. And I think, with the title Nostalgia Critic, it's something where it's sort of more popular now that's ever been, this nostalgia, and I think it makes it even more valuable and interesting worth talking about because it's popular culture now. It used to be something where you just sort of go, oh yeah, I remember that, whatever, to big bucks now. I mean, all these comic book heroes and all these old TV shows are getting movies that are making big money. So I think part of the Nostalgia Critic now is A, how does it compare to the nostalgia we grew up with, and B, why does it still work, or why does it not work, or what did work about it but doesn't now, or what does now and didn't before. And it's fun sort of comparing those upgrades or downgrades and seeing what still will last and what won't.
The most interesting reviews to me are always movies that are just like weird, obscure movies that I had a vague idea of what they were. Like, for instance, like I remember seeing a movie where there was a guy with like a flat face and he was bouncing around, and then I watched your Drop Dead Fred review, and I was like, oh, that's the movie! And I was like so excited to see somebody talking about it because it was in this weird part of my memory.
That's a movie no one should have to grow up with. I really wanted to see that when I was a little kid. My mom said no, and much like Garbage Pail Kids, I'm so thankful she kept me away from that movie because that would have made me dumber.
You know, the thing is, I grew up with a lot of really good movies, like you, I was very influenced by Looney Tunes. My mom had like this VHS that had just like a bunch of old Looney Tunes cartoons, and I watched it over and over and over and over again. But I had this friend from in like elementary and middle school, and he always had these weird movies like Warriors of Virtue, Drop Dead Fred, what's the one with I can't remember it. Martin Short gets all like rubbery or something.
Don't know that one either, man.
It's the one with the girl from Matilda.
Oh, Simple Wish.
Simple Wish, yes. Or maybe it's not Martin Short.
No,
Somebody
that was
else.
him.
Oh, yeah. I remember there's like a part where he gets all rubbery. Anyways, and whenever, when I watch these, when I watch the reviews, I just think of those weird times when I went over to his house and I'm like, what are these movies you're watching? So, to me, I guess I connected it in that way too. Are you planning on doing a lot more like modern stuff? Because like lately you've done the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World review, which is really cool. I liked all of the little recreations and stuff. That must have taken a long time.
It did, but again, it was trying something new, and it was doing it with a film series that we did all the films before. They always went over well. People liked when we talked about it, and we liked talking about them. And I didn't like that film, so I knew there was a lot I could talk about. And I think we got a lot of requests to do Pixels, that style, so we decided to do that as well. And the numbers seem to be good, and the people really seem to like it. So it's something where, we have to be very selective about what we do it with. And with Pixels especially, I decided if we're gonna do it, it should have like an angle. Like it shouldn't just always be the recreations. There should sort of be a setup for it. Like with Pixels, I did the Adam Sandler app, sort of as a means to emphasize the point of the review even more. So I think that's kind of the thing. If we're gonna do a clipless review, it has to be something that has an angle or a style that's gonna help make the point even clearer, not just, hey, we're just gonna do this because we can do this.
I liked the Adam Sandler impression, especially the song. That was great.
I do his when I do Adam Sandler in a goofy voice or I'm screaming, I can do it okay. But whenever I'm trying to do it and talking normally, I always sound like Jason from Home Movies. I find just a little bit of the nasally, down here a bit.
You've done a lot of different impressions throughout your videos, and I'm always impressed because like sometimes like I feel like the impression is really good, but I can still hear you in it. It's like this weird middle ground that works somehow. Like the M. Sandler one, like I can hear your voice in it, but like the inflections are right and everything like that. What's your favorite character you like doing? Because you have a lot of different characters you do. I mean, you have the Nostalgia Critic, the Bum Reviewer is one that you do often. Those are like little short one shots that you usually do, right?
Yeah, the one I like doing most right now is Devil Boner.
I was gonna say Devil Boner's great.
I don't know why. There's just And whenever I drew younger, when I was like in high school or college, I would just draw characters that kind of looked like that. I love the characters with the messed up hair, the black circles under their eyes, like have a long coat and carrying a gun, and they're all teeth. And I don't know why. It's the stupid testosterone or something, but I just love it.
Extreme 90s punk sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that dude from Superman, what was it, like Lobo or something? The rock star, the 80s rock star or villain. It's like, I love that dude. I mean, and I think a lot of it sort of comes from him probably the more I think about it. Because somebody brought that up before. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably did rip it off from him.
Devil Boner to me feels like a character that is supposed to be in like Kool-Aid commercials for adults.
Yeah, there you go.
Like I could tell you have a lot of fun doing that one, especially with the eyes.
Yeah, well, I think that's it too. I can get my eyes really big, and I can get my teeth really big and stuff. So I think it just really helps the character even more. And I can scream really loud and just throw a gun in there, and it's just you have a really fun character.
I think the hardest I've ever laughed during one of your reviews was usually you don't laugh out loud when you're watching stuff by yourself, and I couldn't stop laughing when I saw with your reaction to seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on a baby in Junior.
Yeah,
there's the that's great.
Question,
yes.
Just real quick, the light here on mute is. I just want to make sure it's not like.
Oh yeah. It's fine.
Okay,
it's only mute when it's blinking.
Okay, got
it.
Okay, just making sure.
It is misleading.
I'm sure it was fine because I saw the files there. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, it is misleading though. I had that problem a lot when I started doing this. I'm like, that mute button. It should not be lit when it's not mute. That's just not right.
Yeah.
Oh, in the latest review you did, the Smurfs review, you did like a little side joke saying that you would review Earth Girls Are Easy. And I'm like, oh my god, that'd be great. Do you think you'll ever do that one?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I honestly, I like it, and I can't think of too much stuff to make fun of with it. I mean, I know it's like clearly 80s and everything, but I don't know. I thought for what it was a very fun, enjoyable film. I even like the songs.
Earth Girls Are Easy. If you're a listener, you don't know what that movie is. It's Jim Carrey, Jeff Goldblum, and Damon Wayne. They play these aliens that come to Earth, and they just try to get laid, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's more innocent than that.
It is a bit more innocent.
Yeah, I mean, it
sounds
sounds really mean-spirited and like, oh, this is like a Married with Children thing. But it's actually very, very, sort of cutesy and sweet with sort of like an adult edge. I mean, I think there is like nudity and stuff in it, but it's also a musical.
Yeah, I remember having a very weird tone. The only reason why I got to watching it was because like I grew up with Jim Carrey. Like I was the biggest Jim Carrey fan.
Yeah, me too.
It's really hard to be a Jim Carrey fan now. Like if it his latest movies, but I wanted to watch all of his movies, and Earth Girls Are Easy was the hardest one for me to find. And once I watched it, I was like, this is such a weird movie, because I was expecting Jim Carrey to be like the central character, but he was really like
he wasn't a star yet. Well, that was his intro to In Living Color, because him and Damon Wayans got along, and he's like, hey, let me introduce you to
I didn't even think about that.
Keenan Ivory. Yeah, that was his intro to In Living Color. So it's a good thing he did that.
In a weird way, that Earth Girls Are Easy was the beginning of his career.
You could argue that.
It was also when Jeff Goldblum was considered like a sex symbol, which I didn't know.
By some women, he's still considered a sex symbol. I don't get it. There's so many women I know that just have a huge crush on him, like an Independence Day. I don't understand it, but I know he looks like a nerd in that movie, and I look like a nerd, so I'll just go with it.
When he was in his prime, he's all like oiled up and bronzed all the time.
There's a couple of those sexy shots in Jurassic Park when he's doing that pose where he's laying down with his shirt open and stuff. I was just like, yeah, you know what you're doing.
You're getting ready to do a video on Mad Max Fury Road right now, and it made me want to ask, what's your favorite movie of the year so far? I'm guessing it might be Mad Max.
Well, first of all, let's clarify. It's all the Mad Max movies.
Oh, you're doing all the Mad Max.
But it's a heavy emphasis on Fury Road. It's kind of how they compare to Fury Road, because everyone's just exploded about Fury Road.
I've never seen the original three.
They're worth checking out. They are different. Each one's kind of different, and each one's kind of the same in their own way. It's a fascinating movie series to talk about. It's one of the reasons we're talking about it. But favorite movie of the year so far, hands down, Inside Out. Loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliantly written. I mean, one of the best written scripts in years. I thought the idea was very inventive. I thought they took advantage of it. I thought it was colorful. I thought it was funny. I thought it was memorable. I thought it was emotional. No pun intended. I just thought it was just an excellent movie, and I'll be shocked if another film comes and takes away Best Animated Feature. This is the one time Pixar deserves to win Best Animated Feature in the past few years.
Yeah, I can't think of any other animated movies that really surpassed it this year.
You know,
or any
and-
other animated movies, period.
And watch, this is going to be like the 1 year where it's like, you know, the 1 year Pixar really deserves it and they're going to give it to someone else.
I mean, it's
like,
going to be
Pixar has
Lego
enough.
Movie all over again.
Yeah, like Lego Movie at least should have been nominated. Or it was that year they gave it to Brave or whatever. I mean, it's like, come on.
Did Brave win Best?
Yeah, it won
my
over
gosh.
it won over Paranorman and
Paranorman was really cool.
oh no, there are all sorts of like incredible films that year, and they just skipped right over it. It's like, yeah, I think that you know, we're Hollywood, we're super left. I think that was like sort of girl power movie. Pixar does good, and I'll just vote for that. I'm sure it's good. Pixar's never bad, right? I mean, I didn't see it, but nobody in the Academy Awards ever sees the movie, so.
Yeah, that was a really good cast in Inside Out. Those characters work so well, and as soon as the imaginary character popped up, what's his name again?
Bing Bong.
Bing Bong. As soon as he showed up, I'm like, oh no, something's gonna happen to Bing Bong.
Well, no spoilers here.
This can't end well. I didn't say anything. I mean,
They just bring it up for no reason at all, I'm sure. Just in general. Whether something happens to him or not, which we cannot confirm nor deny.
did you happen to see Paddington?
No, but everyone says it's frigging amazing.
Okay.
Like, the trailer looked awful.
I know.
But everyone's like, no, this film's, like, really, really good. But
Yes.
I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I'm trying to convince my wife to watch it, because most movies I see now, I see with her.
It's one of the most like surprising movies I've seen, because it came out at like the worst time possible as far as like Oscar season goes, because I think it like
Did it come out around November or Christmas?
I think it came out in England like right before the Oscars, but then it came out in the US after the Oscars.
Oh, I think you're right.
It's like one of those
January or
weird.
something.
It's like
Yeah.
the worst time to put a movie out for the Oscars. But I think it's still considered in this year's season for the Oscars or whatever. But I was blown away by that. I'm like, a lot of people I go, have you seen Paddington? Or like, oh, the stupid looking movie. The trailer is really bad.
It looked terrible, but
Yeah.
everyone's saying like
It's like
no,
a
it's really-
masterpiece.
I haven't heard anybody see the movie and be like, yeah, no, it wasn't very good or it was okay. Like everyone says, no, it's really freaking good.
Right. It's the first movie I've ever seen that feels like it was made by a filmmaker who like took a lot of cues from like Wes Anderson, but like toned it down to make it more approachable by like general audiences. There's like you know how he often does that like dollhouse shot where he'll just pan left right to different rooms and stuff. They do that sort of thing, and there's all these little touches that make the movie really good. Yeah, it's definitely a movie you need to watch.
Cool.
For sure. Yeah. But Mad Max is still up there for me. So, how long does it take to make a review? I mean, opposed to, or it probably took you a lot less time in the first half of it when you didn't have a lot of other people in.
Correct.
Like that?
It used to take just a week, but that was starting to get grating because if something went wrong, it's like, well, there went my weekend. If there was a computer problem, if there was some issue with either the footage or a joke that didn't work or something, it's like I would just kiss the weekend goodbye, because it's like I would have to work on that because it was just so tight. I mean, these had to come out every week, so it'd pretty much be a day to watch it and take notes, a day to write it, a day to edit just sort of the bare bones, like the sort of the skeleton of the review, I call it, where it's just me talking and then the audio and me talking, and then it take about 2 or 3 more days to edit it. So yeah, I mean, that's like 6 days right there. If anything goes wrong, it's a whole week.
Wow.
You know, and on top of that, I'd be doing like the bum reviews as well, and
do you type everything out you're gonna save as like for the more simple ones that don't have a lot of more complicated stuff? How often do you improvise stuff?
There's not much improv on it. Like, if I feel a joke isn't working, then I'll try a few variations. Same thing with the actors. Like, I'll sort of say, go ahead and try this. If you feel something different, we can do a different take or a different shot. And sometimes they'll come up with ideas, or sometimes they'll just, even before I say cut, they'll just keep the scene going. So there's little bits like that, but no, everything is scripted. I say like 90% of what you see is in the script.
And now you have other actors working for you, like Malcolm and what's the girl's name? Tamara. Yes, sorry, Tamara. Malcolm is just easy to remember for some reason. How much work do they put into it other than like the acting? Do they do any writing or anything?
No, okay.
They're so easy.
No, I mean, they're mainly just there as actors, but again, that's a bigger deal than you would think, because again, they bring so much to it. They can do these different voices and these different characters, and
Malcolm's got one hell of a voice.
Yeah, well, that's his, sort of his other gig is that he does a lot of voiceovers and narrations and stuff
that makes
like
sense.
that. So anytime we need a voice that's like a narrator, it's like we're always like, oh, just assume it's going to be Malcolm, because he always has that incredible voice. And then Tamara is so great with like her comedic timing. And she can do a lot of good voices as
She's
well.
She's got a
and
very
sort of the way
old
she can
school
move her
way of
face
doing
around.
things. Yeah, very like old school, like almost like Carol Burnett kind of timing. Like it feels kind of old. It definitely. I feel like she was probably. I'm guessing she's like a fan of a lot of older movies. Like when she did her like Dorothy voice. I'm like, she must have practiced that like in the mirror when she was a little girl a lot. Like that's the impression I got.
I think she could just always do that voice, because I can't imagine anyone like, no, I'm gonna get this voice down. I'm gonna get Dorothy. I think there's some impressions and voices some people just pick up very quickly and very naturally, and I think that's one she could just do very easily. And that was one of the ones she did at the audition. It just made us laugh so hard because she could just say all these terrible, awful things, but in the Dorothy voice.
So how did you find the actors? Did you just put auditions out in the city?
We did auditions for demo reel, so we originally gave them for that, and when it came time for the character of Rebecca, it came down to two actresses, and they were actually roommates, and one of them was Tamara and the other was Rachel. And Rachel was a little closer to what we were looking for, so she got the job. And then we told Tamara, like, if we ever need you for anything, though, I mean, we'll tell you, though, because you're really good. And they both sort of worked off each other well, and they had similar sense of humor. So when demo reel didn't fly, we went back to Nostalgia Critic, and I realized because of what I was going to do, I need more people for the new format. So we brought Malcolm and Rachel on there, and then Rachel was moving back to California, and we said, well, let's just use Tamara. I mean, we know she's good, and we know she's funny. She has a similar sense of humor, and we brought her in. And it's nice because both of them had a similar sense of humor, but they both sort of use it in a different way. Like, Rachel was very much a performer. So she could sing, she could do flips, she was very physical, and she could look like a lot of people. She was very good at that. Tamara's a comedian, so she had the timing down a little bit better. She could sort of do various deliveries and stuff, and she was a little bit more focused on the comedy of it rather than how similar she acted towards a certain person or character. So both had these incredible strengths to it, but just enough variety to keep them both really fresh when we brought them in.
How does it like? A lot of people aren't aware of what it's like to work full time making videos on the internet. I mean, a lot of people probably view it as very like unstable or like not very financially like reliable.
It usually is.
Yeah, I know. What does it feel like compared to what life was like before? Is it really stressful yeah, I guess just how does that all work?
It is stressful, but you're having so much fun you don't realize it's stressful. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that line from Fiddler on the Roof, they're so happy they don't know how miserable they are. It's sort of very similar because you're working a lot of hours, particularly on the editing. I think that's kind of my strongest point is the editing, and that's what I take the longest on.
You edit all your own videos?
Yeah, but it's what I enjoy the most as well, is when I see whether or not this is working, and you can work on the timing, and you can see if it's coming together or not, and if not, you gotta fix it.
Yeah, I can always tell there's a huge emphasis on timing in your comedy. Like a lot of the times the joke is the timing. I mean,
yeah, well, Well, I mean, that's comedy. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is, timing. I mean, that is just, the, what keeps it afloat. So, yeah. But on top of that, I mean, even now, because of the new format, I mean, it's keeping it visually interesting. It's trying sort of different angles and different ways of editing. Because, if you get sort of in one formula and you just stay with it, like, you'll definitely have your fan base there, because there's definitely a fan base to anything that just wants to see the same thing over and over. They use this kind of like a comfort zone to come back to, but you're not going to expand, you're not going to challenge, you're not going to try anything different or new, and I feel like you're not going to evolve. So, again, you sort of need that time to play around a bit and sort of like, well, okay, I know this is okay. How can I make this funnier? Or how can I make this better? So you want to play around with the editing on that as well. So, yeah, at times it can be stressful, but like I said, it's just so enjoyable that you don't realize, oh, I've been up 24 hours doing this,
Yeah, I mean,
I think the longest, I had a competition once with Noah Antweiler. We were seeing who worked the longest on a project without sleep, and I thought I was going to win. I think I had 29 hours, and he beat me with 32 hours. So it is one of those things where it's like, it's time. It's work and it's time, but it's mixed in with play.
Right.
Because you love it so much, so you don't realize it's taking as big a toll on you as you realize.
Yeah, you're in your mind, you're just having fun. You just happen to find a way to turn it also into work.
Yeah, and it really is quite a difference, what you'll turn out when you're doing it, not just because it's work, but because it is also your pleasure, and it is just so much fun.
What was it like when you started doing like crossovers with other internet celebrities, like my brain is not working right now, like Brental Floss and other people like that?
It's really amazing because when I first saw them online, even with the Angry Video Game Nerd, I said to myself, God, wouldn't it be so cool if I started like a feud and we had a fight, because we're kind of similar, but we're kind of opposites.
Where's he from?
He's from Philadelphia.
Okay. Because whenever I see these crossovers, I'm thinking like, how often do these people travel?
I mean, we travel a lot for
Yeah.
cons, and there are times where we meet up at the same one. But back then, I mean, to make this happen, yeah, I think we didn't have the money for a plane ticket, so my brother and I drove all the way out there from Chicago to Philadelphia, and it was a long drive. But again, the exposure and the fun that it got, you can't measure it. So it's one of those things where you just think like, God, wouldn't it be so cool if this happened? You don't think it will.
Those two characters are a really good match.
They are. I mean,
Yeah.
they really are the Bugs Bunny and the Daffy Duck, right down to what they wear. I mean, James is clearly the hero. I'm clearly the
Right.
villain.
Yes.
He wears white. I wear black.
Yep.
When he does something, he's the badass. Things will go his way. I'm the goof up. Things won't go
Bugs
my
Bunny
way.
is the winner. Daffy Duck is the loser.
Exactly,
Always. Yeah.
and that's kind of always why we saw it would work, because we saw that, okay, these two, they're similar in that they're both comedians and they're goofy and they're talking about nostalgic stuff, but they're also kind of opposites in that stuff, one is a winner and one's a loser, like you said. So yeah, you think like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? And then it's the most amazing thing when it does. I mean, especially I think the biggest thing is when I meet them for the first time, knowing we're going to do a crossover and just being like, holy crap, this is happening. Remember when you were just watching them on the computer screen and you loved their stuff and you thought, wouldn't it be cool if this happened? It's like, it's happening.
That's how I kind of feel right now.
There you go,
Just
man.
talking to you. I mean, like when I started this podcast, I was listening to some podcasts that I listened to, and I was like, hey, I could probably do a podcast. And usually, like, I would just be like, oh yeah, it'd be a fun idea. But I was like, you know what? Let me actually try making it, and maybe I'd be able to interview some people. And you just got to do it. And now I'm sitting here interviewing the Nostalgia Critic. I mean, like, and it was just like a stupid idea that I just randomly had one day. And so very similar to like how you were like, wouldn't it be awesome if we could do this thing with the Angry Video Game Nerd? Like, and then it happens. It's just a good feeling to have that small idea just grow and actually become a reality.
But the one thing I want to emphasize to anyone listening is that you do need to put your time and your work in.
Yeah.
Because I've had people come up to me and be like, "Hi, I'm a new YouTube talent. I have 50 subscribers, and each video gets maybe a couple hundred views and stuff. I'd love to do a crossover with you. I think we're ready. I think we're in." It's like, no, you have to prove yourself first. And I think it was the same thing with James Rolfe and Brenta Floss and all those people, is that you had to prove that this can work, that you can do it, that there's a fan base, that it'll get a lot of attention, that it'll grow, and that takes time. It takes time to do. And even at cons, it used to be I would always bring my camera, always film something at cons, but now it's kind of become networking, because you meet so much talent there, and it's like, well, what can let me become friends with these people and see if I can use them for something.
How did you get involved with Screen Junkies? Because I'm a big fan of their YouTube channel as well, and I was really surprised when I saw you on their panel one day.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was one. They came to me because they were getting a lot of requests for their movie fights podcast, and they said just all over Twitter, they're saying we want the Nostalgia Critic, we want him on a movie fights, and I said, yeah, I love your stuff. Be more than happy to come out there, and we did one.
So you flew out to they're in
LA. Yeah, they're in LA. So I flew to LA for one, and then they came out to Chicago for one for Wizard World, and
which just got done like last week.
Yeah. And both were a lot of fun, and we also met John Bailey actually at a totally different con, and we got along really well there. And it's just asking. The worst they can do is say no, and I just said, hey, now that we've gone along and we're friends and everything, do you want to do some crossovers here? And he said absolutely. So we got him for Jurassic World and the Smurfs review and the truthful preview of the Nostalgia Critic.
Did he do like a voicemail thing for you or anything?
Because
I'm guessing he gets a lot of requests to do that sort of stuff.
Well, the funny thing is, when we were talking about doing the crossover, he tried to give me a call, and if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer it. And I saw this one, I didn't recognize it, so he left a message as Optimus Prime. And he just does that regularly. I mean, you can just tell he has this voice. He loves flaunting it and having fun with it, and it's like good for him, because it's a really incredible voice, and he's very, very funny with it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that he likes to... that he just flaunts it, because you hear all these like iconic movie trailer voices and you never really get to see them, and you see this guy and he's just showing his face out there and doing all sorts of different videos and stuff, and it's neat to kind of have that connection that you usually don't get, because it's usually just like a voice in the sky.
And the great thing too is that we were talking about timing earlier. His comedic timing's amazing, because he doesn't do, when he sends me a take, he doesn't do that many. I mean, once in a while he'll do one if he thinks he flubbed it, but like, he gets it right on the first one. I mean, he's just been doing this for so long. He knows how to make it sound good, and he knows how to make it sound funny. So it's one of those things where it's like, usually with most people, I'm like, oh, come on, couldn't you do another take? But for him, it's like, no, it's always perfect the first time.
That's great. That's really cool. What was the best experience of working with somebody that you got to meet? I mean, you got to meet some really cool people, like the woman who played Matilda. What's her name?
Mara Wilson.
Mara Wilson. That's right. Pinky and the Brain, Maurice LaMarche, and Rob Paulson. Rob Paulson, which are both great. I love them in all sorts of different stuff, obviously, and Tommy Wiseau, even. Like, what was that experience like when you got to do a little over-the-phone interview with Tommy Wiseau?
That was Riff Tracks made that possible, because they were doing the promotion for their screening of The Room, and they just out of nowhere said, would you like to do an interview with Tommy Wiseau? And my first question is, you do know who I am, right? You know our history and stuff.
Right.
They said, yeah, that's why we want you. So I just said absolutely, and they let us have the video pretty much. I mean, it was really extremely nice of them. And, doing the interview, because we always had kind of this, like, we didn't hate him, because there was always sort of this understanding of like, okay, we don't even know if he's on planet Earth right now. There's just sort of this naivete.
Such a
but
strange person.
Having talked to him like in person, because we talked to Greg Sestero, one of the stars of The Room, before we talked to him.
I recently finished reading the Disaster Artist.
Yes, well, and then he talks about the friendship with him, and you kind of think, well, how can you be friends with this guy. He sounds like just all over the map and kind of crazy.
Well, I
and
mean,
kind of
if you
jerky.
meet somebody so strange, you kind of want to like be around them and be like, what are you? I want to hang out with this person because like they're just strange. I don't want to watch them. I want
Well,
to
that'd be
figure
just a
them out.
person you hang out with, like a weirdo person or something. I mean, they actually have like a friendship. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I didn't get. And after talking to him, I sort of got it a little bit more because there was sort of this idea. Because the way I describe it is that we took a few light jabs. There were no straight-on punches in the interview.
Right.
But because I listened to how he talked and the way he answered his questions and everything, there was sort of this naive positivity to him that was actually kind of likable. And I saw what Sestero was talking about because he was saying that too. He said there's times where you can just pull your hair out dealing with this guy, but at the same time, there is just sort of this optimism that is really hard not to enjoy and hard not to admire.
Yeah.
So by the end, I was actually kind of shocked at how not angry I was at this guy. I was still confused, unbelievably confused, but there was still kind of like this, I don't know, there's this sense that he always had a feeling everything would be all right, whether he was the whether he was the cause or the solution to the problem.
Yeah, that interview is really interesting. Like, because I was the whole time I was trying to think like how much of this is tongue in cheek and how much of it is like real. And it's just such a surreal experience to be able to talk to somebody like that. I'm guessing you read The Disaster Artist?
Yeah.
Yeah. I read that because I wanted to know the behind the scenes of The Room because it's such a strange movie. But I was surprised to find such a compelling story about like friendship, and I was amazed how like complex it is and everything. It's really, really amazing. I mean, like. For even if you've never seen The Room, it's a fantastic read. But yeah, what about meeting Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche? That must have been really awesome.
Yeah, well, that was my brother was filming that, I remember, and I think when we were done, I mean, he said, that there's one off the bucket list, like, as he loves Maurice LaMarche. A huge fan of his work, and and I love both him and Rob Paulson. I met Rob Paulson at a convention earlier, and again, we just got along really well, and he's super, super nice. And I met Maurice LaMarche at a different convention, and that one was kind of funny because I was trying to figure out how to introduce myself to him because I'm like, well, I want to say I admire this guy, but I don't want to come off as a fanboy. I want to possibly do something with him, but again, I don't want to come on too heavy. So I'm sitting there in this seat, this Animaniacs concert that was going on. I had this reserved seat, and the whole time I'm thinking, how do I introduce myself to this guy? How do I talk to this guy? And he comes up to me and he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Doug. I actually had this seat reserved. Would you mind moving over possibly?" I said, "Oh, absolutely." And I moved over, and all I'm thinking in my head is, he knows who I am! Oh my God! And I was just freaking out inside because he knew who I was. So that already made introductions a lot easier. But again, you sort of can't rush into that stuff until you sort of get a little bit of a rapport with them and you talk with them and stuff. So there are actually two conventions they were at together. So the first one, I didn't film a thing with them. I just hung out with them and talked with them, so that by the time the second one came around, hey, do you mind doing this? And they already associate, oh, you're good people. I remember that last con we hung out. It was fun. Let's go ahead and shoot something.
Yeah.
And they were both just so nice and so funny. I mean, they were just so quick on their feet. That was another very surreal but very awesome dream come true there.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know who Rob Paulson is, if you've ever seen a cartoon, you've heard him. Yeah. I always think it's funny that I think there was like 3 different Jim Carrey cartoons, and I think he played Jim Carrey's character in all 3 of them. Like there was an Ace Ventura cartoon.
Yeah, there's an Ace Ventura cartoon, The Mask,
and there was a Dumb and Dumber one too.
I didn't know if he did Dumb and Dumber.
Maybe not, but he definitely did The Mask and Ace Ventura. But those voices are so iconic, and every time I'm a huge fan of Futurama. I'm sure you've watched a lot of it as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maurice LaMarche has a lot of different voices he does on there, and I always love his narrator voice he does every once in a while, like, you watched it, you can't unwatch it. That kind of thing. Oh man, it's so funny. So how do you what's your relationship with your fan base?
Oh, well, I hate them all.
Yeah.
I try
They're
to get a
pricks,
restraining order
really.
between all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but it's fun hating them. It's even great to get paid to hate them. We're actually opening up a new website called Doug Hates His Fans. And now the only downside is we're thinking it could be mistaken for another Doug, like Doug E. Doug. Of course, the world-renowned actor from Cool Runnings. But we're thinking that they'll probably know because I have such a hatred of my fans. No, they're great. I actually, in fact, I love them so much. As I do the bit, I'm like, okay, now you're gonna say they're okay, right? You're gonna say they're fine. You're gonna say they're fine because anytime I even say anything jokingly mean in an email, I always put LOL, just kidding, or something, or a smiley face. I really abuse the smiley face system.
Out of the videos that I've seen where you see some fans like in the crowd or anything like that, they always seem like super happy, very energetic, very positive people. But I always get the impression that a lot of them are like introvert of extroverts and extrovert of introverts. Like maybe a lot of them are like socially awkward. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm the same way too. I'm just curious if you recognize that and why you think a lot of people that might be shy in other places might be are fans of yours.
When I started going into this, I sort of knew, because you'd always see on documentaries and making ofs or even just comedies, you see stuff where they satirize big fan bases, and there's always sort of the obsessed weird fan, in quotes. And they always kind of make fun of them, and that any fan base that's big enough, it's going to have these people as well. So, something I sort of knew going in, like, okay, well, there's going to be some weird fans. It's just sort of how it's going to be and stuff. Although hearing from other people's fan bases, like I said, I'm just, as if I wasn't already so thankful for my fan base, I'm even more thankful when I hear about other fan bases. But the interesting thing that I'm noticing, I hear a lot from, there's a couple things I hear. One is that I help a lot with like people with like depression or going through a really tough time or a stressful time. I guess something about coming to the Nostalgia Critic every week, they have something they can rely on, and it calms them down, and they like seeing somebody get passionate about something that seems kind of not that important, like TV shows and movies, particularly nostalgic ones, but talk about it so passionately and find the art in it. And I guess, like I said, I think it gives them something to kind of keep coming back to, and I definitely didn't plan on that being a thing. But the other thing, too, is that I'm hearing from people that do have, like, learning disabilities or have a problem with speech or have a problem opening up, or people with Asperger's and stuff like that. Something about watching my stuff helps them with communication, and I'm guessing that it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of talking, but it's a lot of extreme talking and loud talking, and the facial expressions are very big and very obvious. But that's a guess. I mean, nobody's ever straight up said this is how or why, but I know I've gotten several times from people that have, like, children with Down syndrome or Asperger's or something like that, and they say that watching the show actually helps them communicate more. And I don't know entirely why that is, but I think it's wonderful. I think it's,
it really
and again, you're doing something in a way, it's like, who would have guessed that? I never would have guessed. I'd be helping out with that. I just do a dumb show.
I think maybe part of it is your honesty in your reviews, and like and you kind of the tone of your reviews are very much like you put a camera on in your basement and you just kind of went on a rant. You don't feel like a supernatural person. The Nostalgia Critic feels like a very real person, and a lot of people can associate to that sort of personality.
I think they can connect to the passion of the character, because even when he's wrong about something, he cares so much about it, and I think people do care a lot about media and entertainment, and I think there's something with both the critic and I guess myself too, that there is like this extreme passion and care for it, but there's also a sense of, I want to, even when he's talking about the negative stuff, especially recently, it's kind of like I want to focus more on the positive stuff, like how could this have been good, or why is this not as good as other stuff we have seen, or what's the possibilities that could come from this. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get away from just watching a clip making a joke, watching a clip making a joke. I want to actually talk about the scenes because, it's interesting to talk about. It's interesting to analyze while also making jokes, while also having fun with it.
And I'd say there's like, you do a lot of jokes that are poking fun at things that don't really matter, but you also a lot of times get to the meat of like why this movie doesn't work. And that's the part like I always really enjoy, because you ask the questions that like I wouldn't have thought, and you answer them in a way that I wouldn't have guessed, and makes it really interesting. I'm surprised that you brought up the depression thing, because like when I first started watching your videos, I went through like a 2.5 year phase of depression, and it was pretty bad, and I felt very alone, and I remember watching your videos, they felt very cathartic in a way, and I don't know why. Like you said, it's the same way with other fans. I mean, there's something about the character that just feels very comforting.
You know what I think it is too? I think there's something to. There was only one time in my life I can say I'm pretty positive I had depression for a bit, and it wasn't like clinical or anything like that. It's clearly caused by an event. And it was after it was during 2012, and it was like one of the hardest years of my life because I just did too much stuff, and I didn't have enough time for myself or for my friends or for my family. And I was just coming off of Taboli Flea, and it's, on the one hand, we got it done, it was phenomenal, but I really worked people really, really hard. I mean, some would argue too hard. And I was sort of in this funk about that, and I knew it was done, it was over, and they've probably moved on, and stuff like that. But and what I found interesting about depression is that, because for me, it lasted for about a couple months, and eventually, I got out of it. But I think, and it was clearly caused by that. It was caused by an event.
Okay.
But I think the big thing about it is that even if things are okay, logically, everything's fine and you're in a good place, you should be very thankful and everything. You are thankful, but you don't feel it. And I think you feel emotionally very lost and you feel uncertain. And I think when you can keep coming back to something is going to be certain. When you come to this, you're going to see something you like and it's always going to be there. That brings comfort because it's just one extra thing you can rely on at a time when you're finding it hard to rely on what you normally could rely on. And I think that sort of helps people grab onto something familiar that they remember and still hold on to that when they're finding it hard to hold on to other stuff. So that's the only comparison I can think of that.
I think also like if you have like if there's some things that are like bothering you, or you have like anger built up or whatever, seeing somebody let all that energy out is really like I said, cathartic in a way, like because you yourself wish you could just be like, let it all out and make fun of everything, and it's kind of like it's relatable like in a personal way when it's also just talking about just a movie. That didn't make any sense.
No, I think it made sense. No, I know what you're talking about. There is my wife, for example, when she's really stressed out, with her job or something like that, she wants to watch a scary movie. And I think to myself, that's the last thing I would want to watch if I'm stressed out or feel like there's too many things happening to me. But she really likes to watch it because she feels like, that gets out, some of the scares, some of the anxiety and stuff. And sometimes it's just nice to see something really crazy, insane, and positive and extreme. Just something really over the top and extreme happening. To sort of put things in perspective and be like, I'm okay. I could be chased by a killer clown or something like that. So everyone's different. It can be a comedy, it can be a scary movie, it can be something light and fluffy, it can be something dark and strange. I mean, everyone's going to have their own different outlet. As long as there's just something they feel they can go to that's familiar and comfortable.
What other things are you working on moving forward, other than the Nostalgia Critic?
We just got Pop Quiz Hotshot going finally.
And what is
delay
that?
after delay. That's a game show we started. We did a Kickstarter for it, and we just hit production hell delay on it, and we finally got it going. And we're on a little bit of a pause now so we can get this Mad Max review and the Nostalgia Weens going. But we're going to come back in a little bit, like I said, because the people look forward to the Nostalgia Critics and the Nostalgia Weens, especially when we have a big one. So we want to make sure that turns out okay. But yeah, so we're gonna get back to that. But it's a game show where the Nostalgia Critic is the host, and he kind of makes fun of the contestants. He actually technically kidnaps the contestants, and the winner gets to walk away with their lives where the other dies.
Oh, wow.
And stuff. So it has like this really dark edge to it, but it's also
Okay.
like really goofy and really. Really just
What are the questions? What's the game?
a
show about?
lot of them are based on sort of nostalgic movie quotes and show quotes and stuff like that. But the fun thing about it too is that if you make the Nostalgia Critic, if you don't know the answer but you can make the Nostalgia Critic laugh, you can still get the point. So there's a nice little bit of a twist on there, so that if you can be funny, you can still get points. And we had people come in as characters. We had someone come in as like one of the Eds from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. We had another person come in as like his own superhero and stuff like that. And they were getting good points because they were funny and they were making me laugh. So that's another kind of nice edge to it, that rather than if you don't know the answer, you lose. You've seen that a million times. If you can make the host laugh, then you get a point. And some people will be legitimately clever, funny, like they'll answer something connecting to the question, or they'll just say something weird, like bananas or something like that. But if it's just so strange and odd that it makes me laugh, it's like, I gotta give them the point. So it's different, and it's a lot of fun. And the contestants we have been a lot of fun as well. And they're surprisingly great fun to shoot, especially now that we have kind of a rhythm going.
What kind of contestants do you have? Are they other people in your network, or you just find anybody?
Just random, just people in the area. I mean, we did have one where we had Brad Jones and Uncle Yo as contestants, and that was a lot of fun. And we're even planning in the future to have one or two others where it's like we'll have like sort of guest contestants, because again, you can be funny. That's part of the show.
Yeah.
But they're mostly just people from around the area, and it's just really funny when you see just these everyday normal people come in, and they can be really, I mean, laugh hard funny. So
You're not
it's
recording
a lot
one
of
later
fun.
today, are you?
No.
I'm just kidding. That does sound like a lot of fun, though. Do you have any? Are there any people out there that you would love to do a crossover with, but you haven't got the chance to yet?
I've done it with most of them. I
Yeah?
mean, it's one of those things where it's like most of the people I want to do a crossover with have said yes, and we've just done it. I mean, if there's one or two that I've asked for either like a cameo or an appearance, and they've said no, but I mean, again, that's always the risk you run. I mean, everybody's like, how do you get all these people in your videos? How do you get them all to say yes? And the answer is they don't all say yes. There's many that say no. But no, I mean, we've met like the Riff Tracks people. I've met Dante Bosco. I've done crossover with Brental Flaws. I've done one with the Black Nerd. And obviously James Rolfins. I mean, there's all these people where it's like, I mean, top of my head, I can't think of anyone else that's like, yes, I really want to do this crossover. If there is, I'll just ask and do it, or at least attempt to do it. But yeah, for the most part, I've just gotten the people I really wanted to do a crossover with. If one pops up, I'll just ask and see if it's possible.
So, what's your favorite aspect of this job? I mean, there's like a lot of production and a lot of creativity, a lot of watching movies, and then there's also the social aspect, going out to cons and meeting people. What's sort of the thing that really gets you waking up every day?
Really the freedom. That was another thing that kept me from going to LA, because I know, kind of rightfully so, that you have to raise money. The people are taking a big risk funding your project, so they want to see it. They want to throw in their 2 cents. They want to make changes. They want to make the movie they want to see. But there's a lot of people that fund it, so a lot of changes are going to be needed or wanted, and it's going to change into something totally different. And how much do you argue? How much do you keep? How much do you take? And with this, I mean, I think people forget really how rare this is, that you have an art form where you can entertain, you can do comedy, you can do directing, acting, editing, and the guy in charge, Mike Machad, just says, do whatever you want.
He's the guy who runs Channel Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's the CEO of Channel Awesome, and he looks over everything before it goes out and everything, and like, I think I can count on one hand how many times he said, you're going to need to change that.
Oh,
or
so
don't
there's
run
very
this.
little censorship.
There's very, very little.
Okay. So what is Channel Awesome at its core? I mean, it's a network of different people who do video reviews, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we branched out a bit into like not everybody that makes videos on the site does reviews. I mean, some do like just comedy sketches or just anything. We have a Ask Lovecraft section where there's just a guy who dresses up like Lovecraft and just answers any question. He'll answer a question about what he thinks of My Little Pony, but he will try his damnedest to answer it like H.P. Lovecraft. It's so bizarre, but it's like hypnotic. You can't stop watching it, and we love stuff like that. We love when we find someone that's, you know, we can find people that's kind of like, oh, I know this style, but he or she's good at it. Let's go for it. But then it's great when you find someone where you're just like, where did this come from? What is this? I can't even put it in a category. I love this. This is totally different and totally new.
So what is that guy with the glasses? What is that aspect? Was that before Channel Awesome? Because I know there was a website, just that guy with the guy with the glasses.com.
Correct. It was that guy with the glasses.com. I think you can still technically type that in and it'll go to channelawesome.com. I mean, that was us really changing it over. We wanted to do it for a long time. We had a site design that was never very good, and we had people telling us, you know, yeah, we're going to change it. It never happened, so we finally just did it ourselves. Okay. It finally got changed over. And, and we decided, you know, it makes more sense to call it channelawesome.com because there are so many people, and it's not fair to focus on just one. I mean, at first we did it because it was just me, and then we started to bring in a few other people. Mm-hmm. But yeah, finally, when we just got so many and it just makes sense, you know, hey, why just focus on one person here? Let's really make it the community, to change it to channelawesome.com.
I was bringing up censorship earlier, and you're recently starting to put a lot more of your videos on YouTube, and a lot of them have been getting removed because of copyright or whatever, even though it's fair use and everything. So how much of your time is spent sort of like dealing with that and fighting the forces that are taking those things down?
Practically every day there's like a new claim or a new something. It's how serious do they come down on it? How much of a risk do we have if we fight it? Can we edit it down? Can we do this? There's so many stupid rules and loopholes that we constantly have to jump through and play with, and sadly there's no real rule book. Both sadly and to our advantage, there's no rule book on it. There's no clear cut case of, you know,
is it kind of like a scary thing to deal with, or is it just kind of tedious?
It's at times it's been scary. There was one or two times where it's like, you know, we got a couple strikes and it's like, oh, okay, one more and the entire channel's gone. You know, that'd be awful. I mean, we still have channelawesome.com, but, you know, we wouldn't have the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And then other times it's just annoying. I mean, there's, I think Brad Jones said, like, he had to fight a claim on a review he did just in his car to the camera, but because he said the title of the film, they're like, hey, you're infringing on our copyright. I mean, that's how crazy it's gotten. You know, so it's majority of the time, I mean, they're not called for and they're, you know, pointless, and they're done by either robots or people who don't understand fair use. And we have fought a few and we've won, which is wonderful. But I mean, that doesn't stop anybody. You know, they're still gonna have a guilty until proven innocent policy, which is not fair and it's awful. But as of now, you just got to find ways to work with it in order to maintain a living.
Yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to ask you. I mean, I spent years just I watched so many videos, and it's such a surreal experience to get to meet you and talk to you, and it's really cool to know that you're a human being. You know what I mean?
No, I am actually from the planet Ego.
Planet Ego, yes. Well, Inflate Your Ego is an appropriate
podcast for you to be on then. Well, I came up with the title of that because I was like, there's no reason why people should listen to me. I mean, I'm just a guy, so I'm just making a podcast to make myself feel better. So I'm just gonna call it Inflate Your Ego. Why not?
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, like we found out, sometimes I can make other people feel better too. It's bizarre, but it's strange how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to thank you again so much for being on my show. Even though it's in its infancy stage, I really want to go into entertainment journalism. Like something like Screen Junkies or Rotten Tomatoes is like a place I see myself wanting to work. And I'm starting through interviews like this and other things that I'm doing. I'm starting to climb up that ladder, and it's a good feeling.
Cool,
and
man.
keep up the good work, and I'll be watching.
Sounds good. You too, man.
High five.
High five.